Hey, how's it going, guys? How's it going? Back at it with the third stream. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I just got an email talking about I violated Roblox terms of service like I haven't played it in 5 days. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's unfortunate. I don't care for Roblox, especially after all those crazy things that I saw spark up in controversies, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. Which Admiral Naruto and B get? That honestly, yeah, so the only Admiral I can honestly give those to that they have a remote chance against, considering that they can't harm any of the other ones, is Fujitora. And I haven't actually spoken. Bayer Leverkusen fan. I don't know who the fuck that is. The only one I can kind of put him up against is actually what's his face, Fujitora. The man, the myth, the legend, the homie Fujitora. He's the only one that I can like literally put him up against. There's basically no option for anybody else. It's kind of funny because I've never actually spoken about Fujitora, and how do I put it? I've never necessarily like spoken about Fujitora, but like the thing with him though is that his scaling is really just dependent on whether or not you want to believe that he really was not in Dressrosa, which I think is narratively implied since whatchamacallit, this dude basically said like he didn't want the Marines to actually get any of the credit for taking down Doflamingo after all the bullshit that they went through. The CEO wants to make games a dating game. Check his hard drive now. Yeah, no, that whole shit with Roblox, like, again, I don't want to talk about it too much, but from the stuff that I saw, I was even bringing it up to, like, my cousins, like, yo, get your kids off of this bullshit, bro. Like, nah, we're not doing this. Yeah, Roblox is, kind of crazy for that. Anyway. Who do you think is a better scientist, Dr. Gero or Dr. Vegapunk? I would say Vegapunk. Dr. Gero is a bit interesting in terms of like Dragon Ball lore because the focus of his experimentation seemed to be relegated to how do I put it? It seems to have been relegated more so to genetic and biomechanical engineering. Vegapunk as well, but in Vegapunk's case, I feel like he was able to do a lot more. Granted, Gero was able to make more powerful beings, but Vegapunk just seems to be smarter in more fields of science, at least in my opinion. You really think Fujitora is fair? I'm not saying that he's fair. I'm saying he's more fair than four opponents that they quite literally cannot harm. The fuck is a Rasen Shuriken going to do against a single guy that is either made out of lava, ice, light, especially the light one. The light ones, I just don't know how the fuck to even touch him. And, wood. Depends on what the Mother Flame is. If Vegapunk made an infinite energy source, then that might... Gero? Not necessarily, because remember that the androids also have like infinite energy as well, so it's not inherently the same thing, but you could maybe say that the Mother Flame can power. It's kind of weird, like to be at the level of power that in order to be at the level of power that the whatchamacallit, that the androids would have to be in by the time of Super, they have to be above Universal. They have to, like, do you need an editor? I can edit it for you if you want. I appreciate that, Lakshya, I really do appreciate that, but I just don't have the money to pay anyone to edit stuff, and I don't want to, like, underpay anybody either. I know that, like, my editing isn't, not to say, like, it's not the best. I know that my editing has gotten, like, very simplistic, only because, like, for the amount of time that I end up like making the videos due to how in depth I want to make them, and I feel like I've been getting more and more, or at least I've been improving more and more at like making more in depth content. I've had to sort of like lower a bit of like the I guess you could say like the flashiness of my content, which honestly I don't really care for. I think substance over appearances anyway. But I just don't have the money to really pay anybody. I really just don't. You ain't even gotta edit for real. For just start dropping multiple hour-long essays. I'll watch them. I know that I don't, but like I feel like it's also nice to just have all my thoughts neatly and concisely constructed into a single video, rather that's like 30 minutes long to like 30 to 20 minutes, 20 to 30, maybe 40 minutes long. But ultimately, you know, I could just chop up my streams. I could just take like all these streams and then just be like, okay, so for the next multiple streams, I'm gonna be sort of like developing an argument for these characters, these sizes, XYZ. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I think just giving a more concise perspective is a more concise and clean perspective, or like just the information's right there in front of you, and instead of me just talking about it, I think that's just more pleasant for the algorithm. If you understand. Vegapunk absorbed all of the knowledge in the world, save for some lost knowledge, and became the target of the world government for it. Yes, but I don't think he has all of the knowledge. I think all of the knowledge in the world is a bit too much. I don't know if I would agree with that. Can Cosmic Garo adapt to Giorno's GER? I don't fucking know, dude. I have no clue. Because GER works off of the concept of causality, and I don't know if Garo can adapt to causality manipulation. Think of GER within the context of cause and effect, where in order to reach an effect, you need a cause, and GER always reverts the cause back to zero, therefore there shall never be an effect, right? I don't know if he can potentially adapt to somebody who can literally just negate any progress that he's made and bring him back down to, you know, before he started. You ain't even gotta edit for real. If you start dropping, yeah, okay. I don't think simple editing is bad though. You can make, yeah, no, simple editing isn't bad. Like I like the idea of like simple editing because one, it doesn't feel as, what was the best example of this that I saw? I remember watching a video about like how Mr. Beast ended up making YouTube it ended up making it was something about like Mr. Beast making YouTube all about like performance and statistics and all that stuff. Like it was no longer about like having fun and stuff like that. And in terms of like, as an analog, like the sort of video editing that you see in like many, not power scaling videos, but just a lot of content targeted towards like children and stuff like that, where it feels like it's very Vine, if you guys remember Vine, or like TikTok, like, or ADHD, like, where it's like every single clip doesn't stay on screen for more than 3 to 5 seconds. I find that kind of content is honestly more distracting, but I can understand like why it keeps some people's attention. I like the kind of editing where, you know, the information is there for you to see and read on screen, right? Do I need any of this? Penetrate through many of our ranks. Get the wounded treated. Medical team. All right. We'll talk to Octopops. Yeah, I don't care about any of that. But yeah. How you doing? Hey, what's up, Dark King? I hope you're doing good, man. I'm doing good. To be here, I'm here for the depth and reasonable scaling, not the flashy editing. Do you have a normal job? No. I did try to work to become a teacher like 2 years ago, but family situations, a whole bunch of things happened. And I kind of just reached the conclusion that I was like, if I want to do anything, I kind of just want to become a content creator, and not like you know, like a TikToker or an influencer, none of that shit. I honestly just want to make YouTube videos. I when I went to college, I ended up studying. Gonna be honest, I ended up actually studying communications in graphic design and digital media. I took a good number of like editing courses for like a lot of stuff. I lost a lot of that knowledge, especially throughout like the pandemic, but getting back into YouTube, honestly, this is the kind of stuff that I like to do. And I just so happen to have the circumstances that I have kind of allow me to do this without much issue, but either way, you know, it still is a bit of an uphill battle, considering that I still have to work off of the income that I do earn. As long as you start pixel scaling for speed, I'm not pixel scaling. Oh, I was about to say, yeah, no, I'm not gonna start pixel scaling, man. Don't worry about that. Also invented Wi-Fi. I suppose he did. I suppose he did invent Wi-Fi. Guys, you guys think this panel of Killer Bee peeing is important for the story, for the scaling? You guys think I should take this? Dr. Girl seems more proficient in specific area. Dr. Vegapunk has more knowledge all around, even applying sciences to magical fruits. I agree. I think that there's also I think you also would have to like consider that like Dr. Vegapunk was how do I put it? It's actually a very interesting analog to like talk about with like Vegapunk and Gero, because when it comes to Vegapunk, when it comes to like why the fuck did I even, oh yeah, I needed for that. When it comes to like Vegapunk and Gero, they both ended up performing not a sort of similar surgery with themselves, where they were capable of essentially removing their brains from their heads in order to perform in order to, you know, do the things that they needed to do. Gero put his brain inside an inside an android body, and Vegapunk storing his brain somewhere else so he could essentially always get the information from it. In my opinion, if I had to be honest, Gero was capable of making a supercomputer that was essentially him, if I remember right. The supercomputer followed, I think it was his own thought patterns and processes, but it wasn't him. I think Vegapunk removing his brain and essentially constantly flowing in information both in and out of it through Punk Records is, again, subjective, but in my opinion, a much better utilization of one's intellect, right? I don't think I need any of this for now, so I'm just gonna ignore the rest of this crap. I'm gonna need everything that Naruto has with KCM. Sorry if I missed some of your messages, by the way. How's the research going for Naruto and Beavers? It's going. It's definitely going. It's not. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So I'm the type of person that I struggle a lot personally. I struggle a lot personally from like abstaining too long from working on content or just anything as a whole and getting back into it. It becomes an issue for me where like getting back into like the groove of things can be not stressful or anything, more so, God, Hinata sucks. More so an issue of like, not procrastination either. I don't want to say it's procrastination. It's, how do I word this properly? It's tough, man. It's just tough for me to get back into the swing of things. Having to like sort of like rework my brain from like basically doing nothing. And to give you guys a bit more context, for the actual like vacation trip that I went on was only like 2-3 weeks. I mostly spent time with my family back in like my home country and everything. The issue with that though is more so that like when I'm out there, I was just not doing anything at all. So I kind of shut off my brain, and when I shut off my brain, it's kind of hard to like get it back up. If you guys have ever played Pokemon, think of Regigigas's slow start ability. It's like it really does take me a while to like really get back entirely into the swing of things. Until time has passed by looking at you, seems you've grown in ways other than just height. Here I come. Yeah, he definitely has gotten a little bit taller, right? Okay, I put too much effort into that. He's just scattered. Okay. Anyway, what were you guys saying? Many people think that because JoJo characters are not using big explosions, they're weak. They're not weak. JoJo characters are not weak, but I also don't want to say that they're like strong in an entirely physical sense. Yes, there are stands that have some absolutely abhorrently insane feats, but when it comes to JoJo's characters, I think it's a verse in a lot of ways like Bleach, where it's definitely it is definitely upscaled because of its hacks, right? I don't know how one can really get around the ability to like affect causality on its own, or even something like Wonder of You with the Calamity. But you know, if I were to say that, like, okay, who punches harder, Luffy or Wonder of You, I don't think one can necessarily argue Wonder of You punches harder than Luffy, even if one wanted to say, hey, listen, you know, Wonder of You would curb stomp Luffy. I would agree with that, but I'm not saying, you know. I think it's a matter of like what you define as strong. Oh, question. So, what does Hollow Purple actually do? I remember it's multiple times if it hits by 0. Does Hollow Purple actually do? It multiplies whatever hits by 0. So how does Sukuna tank that? It's not that it multiplies things by 0. It's essentially an imaginary, or some would like to call it a virtual mass, that both attracts, both converts and diverts at the same time. Think of it like a constant flow, not a constant. Think of it like a ball of energy that both rips and pulls apart anything that it touches, as it also compresses it to the point of, let's say, turning it like a pebble, right? That those kind of like contradicting forces applying on something essentially can cause can essentially wipe out or like erase almost anything that it hits. Obviously, it must have a durability limit, an AP limit if a character is able to tank it. Granted, the version that Sukuna was able to tank, the versions that like Sukuna was able to tank, it was an immediate like response from him where he did still lose his arms, right? And I think it's more or less just a case of like Sukuna literally just amping his durability as high as he could with amplification. I think you should make a channel that will solely based on making money and remain having this one where you can do shit you want. Well, this one is like the main channel that I can do all that stuff with. And ultimately, like, what I want to do is just talk about anime and power scaling and stuff like that. I also kind of want to bring in other series that aren't just like power scaling related, but most of the content that like people want to watch from me genuinely just seems to be the power scaling stuff. And as I've mentioned before, it's not always, especially for like a YouTuber, and especially for YouTubers that, you know, have families that they have to support and what have you. It's never going to be a matter of like what I want to do, right? It's not just a matter of like what I want to do. It's not so much that I'm supporting a family in this case. I won't say it's to that extent either, but it's more so the case of like, so I am technically trying to support myself, and in order to do so, I have to be able to generate more cash flow. But to do that, especially when it comes to content, it becomes an issue of like, it's not about what I want to do, it's about what makes good content. Obviously, I always have the choice to just make the content myself. I don't think I'm gonna go hungry if I make one video about Blue Lock and it just ends up not doing well. But you know, for now, my main goal is just to grow the channel, and if I want to move on to anything else, I can always talk about that later, right? Which fight was better, Luffy versus Katakuri or Luffy versus Lucci in Enies Lobby? I like Luffy versus Lucci more. If I had to be honest with you, I like Luffy versus Lucci more, but that's just because I like Second Gear as a concept. I really, 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 really love Second Gear, man. It's the thing that brought me back into One Piece. The pose, the steam, the super fast rapid fire punches. I love all of that shit. Little bit of a tidbit on my end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. This is 7. So then this. Yeah. So. It's a bit of an issue. It was actually a bit of an issue for me getting back into like watching the series again, especially when I was like 15, 16 years old, where I was thinking to myself like, man, hearing Luffy do, for example, like let's say a Hawk Gatling gun against hearing Luffy do like let's say like a Hawk Gatling gun against Monet inside the whatchamacallit, while inside of Punk Hazard, I was like, man, it's just not the same. But it's because like the sound effects weren't the same. Like I love the rapid like pew 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 sound effects that you could hear from second gear's Jet Gatling, especially when he used it against Rob Lucci. But when I have to go back and say like, oh shit, Luffy's post time skip, Luffy's using Hawk Gatling, which is supposed to be like a better version of Jet Gatling. It's just not the same, man. It really just really isn't. So what do you think? How far can Sukuna go against all the Warlords Gauntlet? What do you think he can? What do you think? How many can he beat? If we're talking, let's say like Crocodile, I think he has. Well, okay, let's start off with like Crocodile. If we're talking Alabasta Crocodile, he 100% has to. He would blitz Crocodile in every instance, but he 100% needs, and I really do mean this. He needs to either use domain expansion, since the slashes would hit every single grain of sand. Since the slashes would go out of their way to hit every single grain of sand separately, or he would have to use the divine flame. I don't know how he beats Crocodile any other way. I never want to go with the whole like trying to hit the soul or trying to target the soul thing, just because the whole like conversation about like devil fruit users and what exact part of their body actually makes up the contents of their soul. Does their soul shape around with them? Does their soul like just, you know, a normal body, but when they turn into light or whatever, it's one of those weird things. And I don't even want to bring up like a whole like headcanon-y binding vow that Sukuna could do to like, let's say again, target the soul. Boa Hancock, Sukuna is not attracted to other people. Her ability to turn him into stone wouldn't really do much. I don't think she would actually get a reaction out of him. But I do think that the issue with Boa Hancock, though, is that she can definitely blitz Sukuna. Because here's the thing, right? I can make any argument. I can make, like, the argument that Sukuna does have, like, light speed, movement, and reaction time speed, especially in short bursts. But I can't argue that he's any faster than Boa Hancock, who should be capable of keeping up with second gear Luffy in the War Arc, in Marineford, who is at least 10 times faster than Light. Like, if she's even half as fast as second gear Luffy in Marineford, she's still 5 times faster than what I can argue Sukuna is. Yeah. I'll continue to get to the comments when I get to the next thing, okay? Let me see. Doflamingo, he loses to Mihawk, obviously loses to Kuma, definitely loses to, just because, well, I think he can tank an Ursus shock, but Kuma just obviously removes him from the battlefield any number of times. I do think Kuma is faster than Light, so he just consistently just removes him from the battlefield. Law can damage the confines of the soul. Yeah, Law can definitely damage the confines of the soul. He can also just literally rip the entirety of the domain expansion off the ground with a room. He should definitely have the capacity to tank his hits, especially if he covers himself in Haki. Actually, no, it would still be a speed blitz. It would always be a speed blitz. Blackbeard probably pre-time skip Blackbeard probably loses, and I say this because he doesn't move around a lot, and I don't think Blackbeard can take too many slashes, especially to the head. I think he could beat a couple of Warlords. I think Blackbeard's biggest hoorah throughout the entirety of like the pre-time skip isn't just like his ability to take damage. It's more so just the fact that he can negate Devil Fruit abilities, but that doesn't work against Sukuna anyway. Didn't Girl get killed by his own androids too? Yeah, he did. Who's the most delusional fan base of a certain character? I don't know, man. You can argue Itachi, you can argue Saitama fans, you can argue a lot of you can argue a lot of motherfuckers, dude. You can argue a lot of things, man. You could technically even argue like Shanks, Kaido. Well, not maybe Shanks and Kaido, no. Doflamingo, I've heard some wild shit about Doflamingo. If you want me to say the most delusional fan base, though, I would have to say Sukuna, but that's because I'm their strongest soldier. Not only that, but splitting his personality into 6 other beings, even York's ability to eat and sleep, rest for the others. Yeah, it's definitely more varied and impressive. I do agree with that. Who's your favorite Bleach character aside from? I don't like Yoruichi that much. I think she's a fine enough character. I don't really care for her like that, if I had to be honest with you. I don't think I have one. I like Coyote Stark. I did like Coyote Stark, and I don't know why he had to die. Like, Grimjow survives, but Stark dies? Bullshit, Kubo. Fuck it, though. Whatever. I don't like Uryu that much. I don't like I don't like the main cast of Bleach. I actually like Orihime the most, and I can't even say she, like, doesn't sometimes piss me off. Cause she like Ichigo is scary today. Like, I don't know, man. I don't really think I have a favorite Bleach character at this point. I really don't. I don't really like any of them. They all make so many stupid decisions that I just think to myself, like, you found out Doll has advanced armament hoppy. What does that change for Killer B? In regards to, like, Killer B... God, you guys wrote a lot of messages. In regards to, like, Doll using advanced armament hockey, I mean, it doesn't really change much because it just allows her to punch you without touching you. You can maybe say it amps her, like, combat ability a lot more, but I can't really say much beyond that. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the case with anything, though. It's hard to get engines revving again and get back to the swing of things. I agree. Anything specifically that you're looking for in Naruto? If you guys would like to help me out with stuff, I just need Killer Beast stuff. If you guys could just provide me, like, the chapters for, like, the Killer Bee versus Kisame and Killer Bee versus Sasuke, I can work with the rest on my own. I can genuinely work with the rest on my own. Jojo versus Strong with super overrated, like Kira literally died to a car. Yeah, so I wouldn't say. I guess not Adams. I mean, it works on an atomic level. So I guess you could say it rips apart atoms. That's how hacks will always remain the most important power scaling category. You're universal with infinite speed. Well, good. I have a stand that ignores all your stats and kills you into the effort. Hey, can you have time? Can you check out chapter 361? It's for the infusion weapons chakra thing. 361. Sure. I don't think I need anything from here. 361. Sure. Oh! This, right? Stab the ground. Wait. Here. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, right here. You see this little stream right here? That's him infusing it with chakra. Yeah, you can see the outline of chakra, though. Yeah, no. Yeah, if I'm going to believe that if a character is infusing a weapon with chakra, there will be at least some kind of indication that it's being infused with chakra. This is pretty funny. Yeah. Nah. I don't know. I don't see the big deal with Hinata. I really don't. I really don't get I don't get why people like her so much. She just does not seem like that interesting of a character to me. Hey, on at work while listening to you for my sanity. Damn. Hope you're having a good day, man. Hope you're having a good day, Drake. Bring in Power Rangers. I've been telling you peak content. I'll get to it. I have one of my other mods also telling me to get into it. I'll just give me time. It's implied he used both reinforcement and amplification. Oh, now I know I asked you to do a lot of things, but can you check out the new Garp rap that DPS released a few days ago? It's Gaspin. I'm not going to do that right now because I really just want to get through as much of this as possible. I end up, like, diverting from, like, what I'm supposed to do a lot of the times in these streams, and I just want to kind of stick. Curious, have you seen the Stenixos problem power scaling videos and your thoughts? If yes, the durability problem, the creation problem. I've seen the durability creation videos that Stein put out. I think they're really good content. I think they're really good work. I think that when it comes to power scaling, people try to generalize a lot of things that often don't feel like they should be generalized, at least to the extent that some people make it to. Should I download any of this crap? I don't need this right now. I don't need this right now. I'll do it later. I think that when it comes to, like, Stein's content, I can at the very least say. Sorry, let me find this chapter first. Okay. There we go. Like, when it comes to, like, Stein's content, at the very least, I feel like he's trying to, he's essentially trying to add another layer to power scaling that I feel like a lot of people often try to, like, just simplify for the sake of making things easy. I don't want to. How do I put it? I don't want to, like, generalize a statement for, like, a lot of people, but something that I've seen, especially with many groups, is that, like, okay, let's say you are getting into power scaling, right? Let's say you're getting into power scaling, you join groups on social media, Reddit, Facebook, whatever. I don't know if there's one on Tumblr or Twitter or whatever. I don't really use those. But the thing with, like, power scaling as a whole is that I feel like I would personally say it is a fairly new let's say like power scaling is at the very least like a decade old, right? A decade, obviously not literally, since, you know, people have been trying to power scale for decades, but, you know, in terms of like overall popularity, I would say that, yeah, power scaling is definitely something that's like on the newer end of like niche internet topics that people can talk about, especially if you want to talk about like how popularized it is. And so if you're trying to get into power scaling, you often see like what other people write or say, etc. And you're like, okay, so this is how you should power scale. You have to do this, you have to do that, XYZ. And there are basic things that I feel like you should do with power scaling, which is why I wanted to make my own video on like a how to power scale series, where I kind of just go into like different intricate points about like how to make a claim, how to do XYZ, because honestly, a lot of the times I feel like people just say or do things that they like see other people do on the internet, and then they're just like, well, this is how it should be done. And so when it comes to like, and it ends up either simplifying things to an extent where it's like the overgeneralization of certain topics, like let's say AP, for example, or character comparison, bridging certain abilities or tasks, etc. It's like, it causes this like weird system where like now if you were to bring a brand new idea into the concept of power scaling that honestly is fair, since it's basically a fan-made concept as a whole, I do think that like then people, you know, not so much come at you, but then say like, what the fuck are you even talking about, right? So Stein making his videos like the problem with series, I think it's good for power scaling because it does bring a very logical aspect to all these things where it's like, listen, I'll talk about like the durability, for example, where it's like, listen, yes, for example, Naruto characters can have very insane physical durability for like, let's say XYZ, but they cannot train internal organs. So, and internal organs, especially throughout many different forms, many different medias, they're not something that can be enhanced at all, really. They're like, in many cases, your internal organs is just something that you just cannot enhance in the slightest. P2. Can't believe I didn't have that. I did have that. The fuck? What the fuck is this? Oh, I put 562. Okay. I'll just delete it. Yeah, so it creates like this really weird, it creates like this really weird situation, at least in my opinion. No, not, so let me go. What was the last thing I said? Oh yeah, so like, in fiction, right? So it's not exactly like, I'm sure that there are like, okay, let me slow down. There are verses where you can enhance your internal organs. There are verses where you can't. Naruto, for example, is a verse that you can't enhance them, and honestly speaking, like your internal organs are probably going to be a bit more sensitive than even your skin. I'm not saying that like the skin is an overly tough organ, but it is a tougher organ than like, let's say, your heart or your liver, right? So for a character like, let's say, like Dory or Broggy to literally swallow a bomb and eat it, or like Kaido to tank a punch that has beyond continental attack potency to the face, or to take a Gear 5 attack that's basically injecting itself straight to his brain, I think it's a lot more impressive than like, let's just say, tanking an attack from the outside, right? Because you're taking that damage directly to the most sensitive areas of your body. When you were 15 years old, it must have been before World War II. That's crazy, man. That is actually crazy. I didn't know One Piece started when back in the 1940s, man. Back in like the late 1930s, 1940s, man. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Oda's been writing this shit for a hot minute. When will it end? At that point, wouldn't it be Gramston? Buggy, if you think about CP9, we're really underpowered considering their position in the world government. I agree with that. I agree with this 100%. CP9 is not, at least relatively, as impressive as like they're making it out to be, at least lore-wise, considering like the later extent. If I'm not sure I can catch, Kengan aura farming is on par with Piccolo. No, Kengan aura farming is way beyond Piccolo at this point, because at least Kengan Asura motherfuckers don't get shit on in almost every single arc of the entire story, man. I have yet, like, I've seen Piccolo maybe do well in like 2 fights in Z, and then he just gets shit on right after the enemy powers up, man. Piccolo has to aura farm. Piccolo is like the perfect example of me of like a character being all aura farm and no substance beyond that. I don't want to say substance. Piccolo has some substance to him, but it's also like, he's whatever. Yeah, the Gatling was amazing, man. Recently, someone said the tail beasts are formed. Those One Piece characters can't hurt them. No idea where they got that idea from, since normal physical attacks work on them in their fleshy forms. I agree. What are you gonna say about Mihawk upscale agenda? The Mihawk upscale agenda is not something that I'm willing to comment on at this point. Wait, not hitting every grain of sand is irrelevant. Logios were stronger than that. Any damage is negated unless it's counter to the element or hotkey. Well, in Mihawk, in Crocodile's case, I think it's a bit different because he is entirely composed of grains of sand, and you could maybe make the argument that like Sukuna's domain expansion would targets all non-living, non-cursed objects, which in this case would be a physical grain of sand. I do think that like if his slashes are strong enough to destroy those grains of sand, he can likely tear Crocodile apart. Unless you think that like Crocodile can reform himself from like the outer, from like the sand around him as well. Sukuna Slash is capable of cutting grains of sand. They're capable of literally... Let me show you, actually. They were capable of literally turning a woman into dust. They were literally capable of turning, like, a woman into, basically nothing. What the fuck? Oh, right. This is a thing. I remember... Damn, I must be really far back then. I must be really far back on comments. Sorry about this. I start to yap and then I can't. CP9 Assassin. What was that? CP9 Assassin's not meant to be some uber powerhouses. Crocodile can one-tap him. Yeah, no, he could definitely one-tap him if he makes contact, though. All it takes is a single sand trap and a hand touch for Crocodile to suck all the moisture out of Sukuna's body. That is also true. Always did it. The vast majority of sound design in One Piece recycled DB crap. Yeah, it is bullshit, especially when you hear, like, the transformation sound effect. Or I think in one case they even used, I think in one case they actually even used like the Kamehameha like charge up a sound effect. Most Bleach characters aren't heroic figures I look up to. Damn, Yuji really went through some shit that arc. Yeah, right here. Like, I guess the anime version makes it a better example, but you can essentially see it with their hand where, like, it literally just looks like it's being shaved away and you don't see any debris afterwards. I think that's, like, the best example I can give you. Also, the fact that Blackbeard has the power of the off-screen fruit. True! I've always hated... Oh, yeah, I already heard that. Can Mihawk beat future Trunks? I probably wouldn't even remotely try to argue that. I don't think I would try to argue that at all. I really don't think I would try to argue that. Bad writing on Kubo's part. Most people, heroic figures. I feel like people like Hinata because she isn't Sakura. I feel like that is true, though. I feel like that is true, man. Like... And you know what I really hate? When people say, well, Sakura and Hinata, blah, blah, blah. Sakura's bad, Hinata's great. Oh, you think Sakura's bad? Well, Hinata did X, Y, Z. Hinata's useless. Oh, well, you think Hinata's bad? Well, at least she's not fucking Sakura. It's like, I don't care. They're both trash, bro. They're both trash characters. I don't care about either of them. You can talk... you talking shit about Hinata does not stop Sakura from being trash. You talking of shit about, Sakura does not stop Hinata from being trash. They're both dog shit characters. It's like trying to compare a bag of moldy cheese to a bag of actual spoiled milk. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't matter if you like one more than the other, or you think the other one is better or whatever. It doesn't matter, dude. They're both garbage. Garbage is still garbage. You can see it when you zoom in. If you look at the other panel that's not visible. Let me see again. 301. Whatever. DPS never fails to release a banger. Hinata just doesn't sell literally every fight. But it's not even about that. Content has gotten a lot better. No offense to him, but in the first videos he repeated things way too much. I don't think I've watched any of his early content. What is the mighty Eon up to now? I'm just gathering information for Naruto and Beast so that I can just get it out of the way. Kishimoto was asked which girl in Naruto he'd have a girlfriend, and he was like none of them. But right after he asked which guy he want a boyfriend, and he said Shikamaru. That's the perfect take though, because like Shikamaru's like me, where like everything is a drag, and I'd rather just not do anything. Steinixos is trying to push more critical thinking into power scaling, so it makes sense that he's gotten some pushback. I agree with that. Yeah, some Steinixos contributing, putting the end of the whole creation problem issue power scaling has been having for years. I agree. The whole scaling Cogli to solar system level and Grammy to galaxy level has been such a nightmare. My only problem with the point is that he seems to assume that it only stated an organ is as durable as an internal organ. I mean, how durable is an internal organ supposed to be my question then, like, how durable is an internal organ supposed to be if... Is it really page fucking 7? Oh, yeah, I guess so. How durable is an internal organ supposed to be if you can't train them? How do you quantify how much tougher the internal organs are supposed to be? If you can bypass the skin at that point, like, is the internal organ 5, 10, 20, 30? Is it tough enough to, like, tank, I don't know, a bullet at that point? You know what I mean? Making my own story. I've had hard limits planned out. Physical fastest being light speed handle. Physical... Oh, yeah, we've talked about this before. If Naruto, Luffy, and Ichigo did a fusion dance, how would their fusion do against everyone in their verse? Probably curb stomp the fuck out of them. Give Gear 5 Luffy Naruto's stamina. Give Gear 5 Luffy Naruto's stamina and Ichigo's, I guess, potential, quote-unquote. And yeah, he curb stomps the entire verse. Same thing, give Naruto Luffy's speed and damage negation. He curb stomps the verse. Give Ichigo, I don't know, an actual combat style that isn't relying on just swinging a fucking sword like a novice. I would say, and the mentality to not be a bitch in every single fight. He one-shots the rest of his verse right off the start instead of me having to wait half a fucking chapter for this asshole to finally lock in. I don't know. I think they kind of fix each other's problems. Kengan aura farming and harvesting other verses. That's what I'm saying, bro. He took on a shit. Now, let me, guys, Thine over here, my good friend Thine, one of our mods. Let me give you guys a bit of context as to what we're talking about with the aura farming. You see this man right here? This is Kuroki Gensai. He's known as the Devil Lance. This man is one of the top martial artists, if not basically like, let's say top 3 of the verse, at least as far as we know. And this man, if you go by like the Baki stuff, he's stated, at least by like the Baki, King and Asura crossover, he's like at least portrayed in that crossover to be on like on the same level as Yujiro fucking Hanma, right? Look at what this man is about to fucking do. He's on a ship, he's like the Devil Sea, yada yada yada, weird exclusion zone. He hops on a fucking life raft. Not on a boat, on a fucking life raft with paddles. He's not even paddling. He's just aura farming his way towards his destination, letting the raft do all the work, letting the ocean's current do all the work. And as soon as this man let the duel commence against a fucking battleship, that is a fucking battleship. That's aura farming right there. That fucking shit right there is aura farming, man. Out of this fucking world type shit. No superpowers, no crazy shit. Just a man who is good at martial arts. Love to see that shit. No crazy genetics, nothing. Law ripping Dofi's organs to shred. Big Mom having her brain scrambled by Law twice. Kaido having his brain damaged by Luffy, etc. Yeah. Is there a good Naruto versus matchup for King Harold? That's a very good question. That is a very good question. I don't think there's a single character, at least in Naruto, that keeps up with him, at least physically, man. I really don't. Green Bull and Akihito have shown the logic that they can reform pretty much nothing. Destroying the sand is just destroying sand. I don't know, because like a grain of sand is also... you know what, I'll just concede. I don't really care to argue this. Good stream title. Thank you, Michael. And I got Luffy beating any Bleach characters. I wouldn't say that, but... They will still lose to Soul King Almighty Yuhabaha? Probably not if he's just that much faster than him. Well, Trunks is a swordsman, so yes, he loses to Mihawk. Are both amazing characters. I would 100% disagree with this. Hinata has, like, next to no character development. Hinata really, like, has, like, next to no character development besides being shy and then saying she has her ninja way or whatever. And Sakura is just terrible. She had, like, a good arc and a half, and then Kishimoto threw it all away. Literally threw it all away and made her the dumbest bitch in all of Naruto, to the point where she married the guy that literally tried to kill her twice. I'll put it like this. There's a meme I get a lot, very often, where it's like, when you hear... it was something along the lines of like, if you want to hear something stupid, when you hear your homegirl went back to her toxic ex for like the fourth time in a row. And every time I think about that, I just think about Sakura, because I'm just like, how do you constantly go back to the man? Like, even if he's all right, even if you like forgive him, even if he's like a good guy now, it's like, he tried to kill you, bruh. He tried to kill you, and then he pump and dumped you. He quite literally pump and dumped you, and you had to raise your child for fucking, what, 12 years on your own? She doesn't even know her father's face. You did not make, and then you destroyed your own house because she was asking you about your father. Like, no, that is not a good character. I'm sorry. That's just not a good character. That is not a good role model. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything. In a realistic sense, and even in a story-based narrative, it's not grounded in the slightest bit. It doesn't have any sense of like. There's no way that one. At least there's no way, in my opinion, that one could like realistically and logically even say like, oh hey, you know, this character is very real, this character is very grounded. Like, no, sweetie, no, that she makes very self-destructive and stupid decisions. If you like that, if you think that's fine, go ahead. I'm not gonna tell you don't think that, but we just do not have to have that conversation at that point. I cannot respect that character under any circumstance besides the arc and a half that at the start of Shippuden. What is current pre-time skip Blackbeard's scale in terms of speed and AP? I don't know about speed. Blackbeard does not have good speed. He usually just stands there. Current Blackbeard, though, it's kind of weird because Blackbeard's the kind of guy that he's kind of almost like a Pain in a sense, where it's like, he's like Pain in a sense where it's like his range itself, his mobility. Well, okay, I shouldn't say Pain because that's not a good comparison. Blackbeard's mobility is kind of irrelevant especially when he's constantly fighting against Devil Fruit users. Most of Blackbeard's matchups consistently have been against Devil Fruit users, and the issue with Blackbeard is that, like, he doesn't need anything crazy. Like, he doesn't need to move around. He doesn't need to even, like, be able to keep up with you physically in terms of speed, especially if he's got Haki. As long as his Haki is able to give to at least, like, cover that leeway in speed, all he really needs to do is just use Black Vortex, pull you in, and the fight's kind of over from there on. He did it to Boa Hancock, he did it to fucking Luffy, he did it to basically everybody. Eon told me, yeah, Michael doesn't eat beans. Michael definitely doesn't eat beans. I wouldn't say that. Organ scaling is crazy. Trunks uses his sword in the first part of a fight, breaks it, then returns to hand-to-hand stuff. What happens when your whole skeleton organs scale to your durability? If your skeleton, your organs, your tissues, and your cells scale to your durability, then they just scale to your durability. That's really it. A friend of mine argued that Crocodile is not a true Logia because he's not a natural element and nothing can put down a Logia other than Haki. Not even existence, erasure, or element. I don't know about existence erasure because I haven't seen that really happen in One Piece. Is to skill as Yujiro is to raw power. Yes, exactly, Thine, exactly. You should collab with someone bigger so you can grow. I don't feel comfortable with doing that. If I had to be honest with you, I just don't feel comfortable doing that. Because it's one of those situations where I feel like working with someone that like has... I mean, if they were to call me in... okay, let me put it like this. I wouldn't go out of my way to hit up anybody that has like more subscribers than me, at least by like a large margin. If it's lower than like 1,000 or 2,000, stuff like that, maybe even like 5,000 at the most, I'm willing to do it. But if it's like someone with like 20k, 30k, 50k, 100k, I wouldn't hit them up at all to try to do anything like that. One, because I'm a very small channel, they would get basically nothing off of it unless, you know, we were already friends, or, you know, we kind of fuck with each other, or, you know, or unless it's like a case where like they hit me up, right? But that's likely to just not happen, right? Did I not get this one? It's 13. Is this next page fucking split? This next page is split. The next page is split. Yeah, it's split right here. Oh, that's fucking stupid. Okay. Hinata has some good moments. Like what? If we're talking part 1, she doesn't have a single good moment in my opinion. At least a moment that makes me look at her and say, yeah, this character's cool. At least in my opinion. I don't think she really does. What, she fought Neji, got curb stomped. Not even from like a power scaling perspective. Just like, she just got curb stomped and then did nothing else and then just started coughing like a little baby. Her lungs and her heart were fucked. Yeah, that's all fine and fair. But yeah, no, she got completely fucked up. And then Shippuden, what does she do? What did she do in Shippuden, actually? I don't think I really see Hinata in Shippuden besides like when Naruto comes back to the village. And what the fuck does Hinata do in Shippuden besides like the pain thing? I guess she helped Naruto get back to his senses in the war? I guess? I suppose? That's just the war arc and the pain stuff is really it. That's really just it. Sarada still cracks me up, and Uchiha who needs glasses. And that's the thing that fucking pisses me off too. I like Sarada. Listen, Sarada's a great character. I like her. She's fine. All that stuff. It's all great. The issue that I have though is that like, okay, I feel like Kishimoto probably just isn't aware of like the overall feelings of his fan base. I really don't think that he is, because how the fuck do you even remotely think that, again, the most dislikable, or at least one of the most controversial characters in your series, having a child with one of the most powerful characters in your series, and mind you, a character whose entire power set is based entirely around the fact that he has the strongest eyes in the original fucking story, and then you fucking sit there and tell me, oh yeah, no, his daughter that he had with this useless bitch with that pink trash can. Yeah, no, their daughter, she needs glasses. What kind of a fucking thought process is that? I'm sorry, what kind of a fucking thought process is, like, bro, listen. All I'm saying is, Sarada does not need the glasses to like really make her design, and I'm pretty sure if it were any other character, if it was Karin, if she was Karin's fucking, mind you, I think she would have been way more OP as Karin's daughter, because she would have been not only an Uzumaki, she would have an Uchiha with Uzumaki bloodline. Fuck it, I'm not saying that she could awaken the Rinnegan because you need Hagoromo's both Asura and Indra for that shit, but like, at least with Karin, you know, it might make some sense, XYZ, but with Sakura, it just lowers the Sakura stocks even more, man. It just lowers the Sakura stocks even more, because then you literally just have to say, the bitch gave birth to a fucking Uchiha who needs glasses. What the fuck is that? The entire clan who is known for having the craziest fucking eyes in the verse? And the child of the strongest Uchiha needs glasses. Nah, bruh. Sorry. Nah. Because glasses, I like glasses. I like my girls with glasses too, man. I like glasses. I think depending on the type of frame too, like, you know, they're cute. But if we're talking about just all of the shit that goes on in Naruto, come on, man. And then you know what's crazy? It's not even like a case where like, and you know what I really like, just, let me put it like this. You know what like kind of pisses me off? This isn't even a case of like Gohan superhero. This isn't even a case of like Gohan from Dragon Ball Superhero where like his eyesight gets better, like his eyesight, it literally stated, it gets better when he transforms, goes Ultimate, goes Super Saiyan, like his eyesight legitimately gets better, right? She has a ability to allow her eyes to see kinetic movement at a much higher rate, chakra and colors down to a microscopic degree, cellular degree, whatever. She still needs the glasses? What the fuck? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'm not... There's Uchiha with glasses. Obito was struggling with eye drops before he got Hashirama cells. Obito wasn't struggling with eye drops before he got Hashirama cells. Obito just had sensitive eyes, and those goggles did not even need to improve his vision. He just had sensitive eyes, and he needed to put eye drops in them because they got dry very fast. But that all stopped basically before he got his Hashirama cells, when he got his thing. Anyway, yeah, even when I ask, are you saying even Zeno can affect the Logia simply because are made of natural elements? He answered yes. So wait, what was your point? A friend of mine argued that Crocodile... Okay, so existence erasure. Okay, so that was your comment. What about Stein collab? Should be cool. No, Stein told me that he's going to be taking a break from content creation, so I can't say whether or not... I can't say, actually, whether or not I can make a collab with him. I'll probably hit him up every now and then to see if he wants to, but I'm not sure. Naruto and Sasuke should have ended up together, and I will die on this hill. Aster, you and I disagree on a lot of things. And that's fine, But I think you and I are both in agreement. Listen, I am more than willing to let the ending of Naruto be Naruto and Sasuke ending up together, because that shit makes more sense to me than Naruto with Hinata or Sasuke with fucking Sakura. Those pairings were fucking awful, and I don't think the Naruto should have gone with fucking Sakura either. Fuck no. She does not deserve him after all the shit she put him through. But yeah, no, that is absolutely fucking insane. No, I think he kept liking her until the situation in like the land of, actually, yeah, mid to late war arc, actually, because he did say that like she was his girlfriend. None of the characters are compelling characters. I just consider Boruto as non-canon. Mei is more compelling character than Sakura. Mei has her issues too. I'm not gonna lie. I think Boruto to Naruto, like GT, Dragon Ball Z, that shit, I treat that shit as a suggestion. I mean, it is like, yeah, I guess. Well, I found a Roblox banned me for a week because I told someone not to rely on the Bible for literally everything. That's funny as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. That's funny as fuck. I would definitely not exchange with someone with a terrible character like Seth the Programmer. He revealed his truth called. Yeah, I know. I know about the Seth stuff. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably have a chat with the guy, but I wouldn't try to collab with him. Yeah, it's a lot. It's messy, man. It's really messy, and I didn't like the way I didn't like the stuff that he apparently said about like Swag Kage and stuff like that, especially with how like they seem to really be friends and shit. Honestly, like if I had to like just give out like a name of someone that I would love to work with, Swag Kage or even Six, I would love to actually make content with them. I really do like their content. I'm kind of sad that Swag hasn't uploaded shit since like, what was it, 2024? Yeah, he hasn't uploaded since like that video in 2024. And then he did those live streams. I don't need any of this crap. Anyway, she went to fight Neji knowing their power, got a cool fight with Pain. I would not call that a fight in the anime. She did not have a cool fight with Pain. All she really did was just try to stall him out for a little bit in order for him to, not even stall out. I wouldn't even call that cool. Like, she didn't do anything. She missed every single hit. Like, I guess depends on like what your definition of cool is. If you think it's cool, I'm not gonna tell you it's not. I don't think that was cool though. I can respect it. I can definitely respect what she did. She was the only person to jump into essentially the wolves, to the wolves' den without, knowing full well that she was gonna get absolutely slaughtered. But hey, because glasses make girls cuter over design over reasoning, I suppose bad design. Kishimoto was 100% like, she looks better with glasses, and it puts Sakura down. That's what I'm saying, man. There's Uchiha with glasses in the series. I think Sarada doesn't need glasses while the Sharingan's active. Also, Kishimoto's not the main writer of Boruto. I'm aware that he's not the main writer of Boruto, but he still made the characters, right? Sanji x Zoro over Yes! Sanji x Zoro. That's who they're gonna end up with. That's exactly who they're gonna end up with. Do you think Logia can resist hacks like Existence Razor, Soul Manipulation? I can't answer those questions without them being somewhat present within One Piece itself. I really cannot answer those questions. You should correct. We disagree on a lot of things when I'm wrong about a lot of things. Fair enough. In Sarada's defense, Kishimoto set the precedent with Sage Kabuto. He called himself a dragon and close to the Sage of Six Paths with a perfect body, but homie uses glasses. I suppose, but I feel like he probably just didn't feel like he needed to like fix his own eyesight. I don't know. I feel like it was one of those kids where he just decided not to. Really got caught on mic saying his followers were all really stupid and a bunch of stuff. Really? Is that like on YouTube? Is that like on a YouTube thing? I'd like to see that. That's crazy. Gotta go. Keep up the good work. Yeah, appreciate it. I don't like that though when like a content creator shits on their fucking followers. Like I've even said it before with like my mods and stuff like that, where like the most I'll ever say about someone is that like I find them to be frustrating, or like I really just do not want to talk to this person. Like I will say that like the hardest I will go, especially for like power scaling, is like telling someone like, oh no, you just cannot scale. And I said this to like some dude, and I've said this to like to do it on like my own personal account and stuff like that, because I'm like, bro, you comment on every time I make a comment on these like posts or whatever. Hey, what's up, Dia? Every time I make a comment on like one of these posts or whatever, like Naruto versus One Piece and stuff like that, XYZ, like I give like a long explanation and everything, and he says, "Oh no, you're just delusional. Oh no, like they just get curb stomped. How?" and stuff like that. And I'm like, how about you provide me an actual argument? Because you and he always has like, and I think that like one of the last times that we exchanged, he was like, "I literally school you every single time we chat," and I'm like, No, you literally just cannot scale. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not one to tell, like, someone, especially, like, if we are, like, having an exchange in terms of, like, you know, a back and forth about, like, scaling or whatever. Like, I'm not going to tell someone, like, oh, no, you can't scale. But, like, when a person legitimately is constantly saying, like, oh, no, you're delusional, or like, oh, no, they're too fast, too strong for the verse, XYZ, and, like, they never actually provide an argument that is even remotely constructed in any way, shape, or form with, like, any kind of feats, statements, narrative, etc. I'm just like, no, you just can't scale, bro. I'm sorry. Like, you just cannot scale. And that's fine. Stop commenting on my stop commenting on my comments then. Between the Rinnegan and the Almighty, which eye ability do you prefer? Rinnegan, 100% Rinnegan. It looks cooler. The Almighty looks weird to me. To me, it looks weird. But if we're talking like OP wise, I like more. Not even like OP. I don't really care about it being OP or not. If I'm talking like generally speaking, if I'm talking, if I'm generally speaking, like if I'm talking about like, you know, which I prefer, I just think the Rinnegan has a cooler design, a cooler set of abilities than just seeing every single future imaginable. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. I can't deny that, but also like, okay, is that all it does? You know what I mean? I like variety over like a single OP ability. You know what I mean? Don't disrespect Seth. I'm not disrespecting Seth. If I said anything that disrespected Seth, could you quote me on it? But I don't think I said anything to like disrespect the guy. Seth, all cool again. They still collab together. Me personally, I do not watch any of them. This is a lot about those guys' characters, in my opinion. I don't know if it says a lot about Swag, since a lot of the times I've learned that, like, not a lot of times. I've learned in the past that, like, I'm not someone who tries to at least hold a grudge with somebody, especially if, like, for a lot of stuff. It depends on like the situation. Obviously, I do think that, like, you know, life itself is inherently gray. The people like to see things as like black and white a lot of the times, and I'm not saying that things cannot be black or white, more so that, like, you know, the world itself is gray, in my opinion, right? Like, there's a bunch of situations where, like, depending on your moral compass, depending on, like, how you were raised, XYZ, like, not even how you were raised, just how you've lived your life up to a certain point, you can see things from, like, an entirely different perspective than, like, somebody else who's seen it. An example is, like, Doflamingo saying, children who have grown up seeing war are different than children who have never even been scolded, right? Like, it's two completely different kinds of concepts. And I think that, like, you know, at least at the point I've gotten in life right now, I don't have, like, the energy to really bear something against anyone. I can't speak on Swag or Seth or any of them. I don't know what the situation with them is like. You know, I don't know if... You know what? I'm gonna download this upcoming fight afterwards. I'm gonna download it, but I'm not going to... I'm not gonna use anything from this point onward. From this point onward, I don't think I need anything. I just have to find the stuff for Killer B, and then I think I should be good to, like, really start developing my opinion. But the point I'm trying to make is just that, like, you know, if Swag forgave Seth for whatever reason, or, like, you know, they're cool again, I'm sure they probably had a chat. I'm sure it was probably something. I don't know if I can necessarily say, like, you know, that tells me a lot about what Swag is. I just feel like at that point, you know, maybe he just forgave the guy. Maybe he said, you know, it's cool, I guess. I can't speak on that, but hey, you know, it do be like that. Kishi not having the balls to make Naruto like Sasuke was the biggest miss. That's what I'm saying, bro. They would have been, bro. All I'm saying is they would have been some of the biggest icons of the LGBTQIA plus community, bro. Like my king/queen Ivankov. Daigo Knight is a great Naruto channel. Focuses more on story or narrative over power scaling. He's very fun and honest. I haven't really seen a lot of their content. I know that they do. Remind me again. Is Daigo Knight the guy that does? Is it the channel that, like, does the like rewriting Naruto stuff? I've never actually checked out those videos. Let me see. Wasn't the You Can't Scale guy on, like, Facebook or something? Yeah, the You Can't Scale guy was definitely on, like, Facebook or some shit. Why do you think One Piece gets so undermined in power scaling? I feel like it's because arcs take place on islands, so people think, oh, there aren't. It's part of that, but it's also because I feel like people just don't like One Piece. Look. I'm sure that you guys have seen, like, I'm sure that you guys have probably felt at some point when you're like, oh, let me just move my phone. This is just notifications. I'm sure that like every single one of you have been in a situation yourselves, or like you've been where you've been like, okay, X person from like X community, X loud minority from X from other X community, Saitama fans, One Punch fans, you know, where like people that really enjoy something or that really try to push for you to get into something, that you it essentially ends up putting you off of it, or it ends up being like, I'm not gonna watch this specifically because you're telling me to watch this, right? It's an inherent thought process that a lot of people go through. It's a psychological response that a lot of people go through. I go through it myself, right? You know, I could definitely recall that there were moments in my life, especially when I was like in college and stuff like that, where like I was first learning about like One Punch Man, even after like watching like the first season, where I'm just like, why are people glazing this bald-headed fuck so much? I don't get it, right? And then when people saying like, oh well, he beats Goku, he clears Goku, XYZ, and you just like get really annoyed by it, and you end up resenting the character, the story, etc. Well, regardless of its quality, you just end up not liking it. I'll give you an example. I didn't like Attack on Titan from the moment I first watched it, and I sat through the entire first season when it came out. And I'm gonna be honest, like, for years and years and years, no matter what the quality of Attack on Titan was, I would just say, no, Attack on Titan shit, bro, I don't care. These characters are trash, they're weak as fuck, XYZ, you know what I mean? So, I think it's just a normal response that people have towards individuals or a community, where it's just like, you're annoying as fuck, I don't like you, I don't like XYZ, I don't like what you're doing, therefore I'm not going to care about anything that you say and do. I don't care what the quality of it is, I don't care if they're strong or weak or XYZ, it's all ass to me, and that's just how it's gonna be. You know, it's one of those things that you also kind of have to just like accept that, like, you know, some people are just going to be like that. I've been like that myself, so I can't really judge anyone for doing that. But if you ask, the way I like to think about it is also like this, right? That's maybe like one perspective of like looking at it, but I think another perspective looking at it is just that, like, listen, man, One Piece is long. There are still things about One Piece that I'm personally trying to figure out myself, right? There's still like, I think it's a little bit harder to like really give the perspective on every single feat when a series has so many arcs. When, like, you know, you have a series like maybe Naruto, where like you can call out like 5 or 6 big things, 5 to 10 to 20 different big things that happen throughout the story, just because like the arcs, not to say that they're like better spread out, or like they're a lot more centralized, more so that, for example, you kind of have a good idea of like what the Pain arc is if you just watch Naruto once, but I feel like it's really hard to like go over every single thing that went along in, like, let's say the Dressrosa arc, right? Like, I can't tell you exactly how much shit goes down. Like, I can't honestly tell you how much shit goes down in the Alabasta arc, but I could probably name a lot of what happens in, like, let's say the Sasuke retrieval. You know what I mean? It's a combination of a lot of things. Let me catch up with the comments and then I'll finish it off. Because mainstream fans keep downplaying their own favorite verses. Well, we probably agree more times when you do One Piece Bleach. When I'm not a Naruto glazer, I'm a One Piece laser. That is my human heritage. It's fine, like... That's funny. Human heritage is funny. No, the guy who said... Oh, okay. Hey, Eon, I don't remember you ever talked about it, but what's your opinion on the V-Ray cards? I think the V-Ray cards are good, I think the V-Ray cards are fine and all, but I think it's one of those cases where, like, it is just a supplementary source that is there to provide more information on characters, but then I feel like people take shit like Akainu having the most destructive Devil Fruit and saying that he has, like, the highest attack potency in the verse. I don't like shit like that. I've learned more and more that, like, data books are important to scaling, but I don't think that they should be taken entirely as word of law. I think that depending on, like, the language used in a data book, for example, or a V-Ray card, etc., there's multiple different ways of interpreting it, but if it directly contradicts with something that's being shown in the series, I don't know if you should really take it as precedent over the canon source material. I feel like it's more or less just something that can be used, or at least there should be tools that should be used to give more clarity on certain things, rather than just saying, like, this is word of law, this is what I'm taking. You're right. V-Ray card says Luffy isn't Lightspeed. What V-Ray card says Luffy isn't Lightspeed? What V-Ray card says that? Unk, you got it wrong. He was talking to... Oh, yeah, I imagine. But they exposed Seth. The only truth about him, that they just let it come back after years. And it's all fine. I just find it odd. No, I'm not saying that it isn't odd. I'm not saying that it isn't odd. right? There's probably something there. I don't know, again, but it's one of those situations where, again, I don't know how much of an opinion I can genuinely grant it when I just don't have the full context for the situation, and I likely never will, right? Oh, big question on Killer B. Him surviving, getting his tail beast ripped out makes no sense. It's not so much that it doesn't make any sense. There was a tentacle of the 8 tails around there, and he just fuck. By the way, when I talk about, like, again, character, what is it called? A character death of a character, I guess you could say. A character dying. Their entire everything that they've built up at the start of the series, or I guess the midway point, or I guess like the early quarter point of the series, just got killed in this entire fucking conversation. Fucking hell, man. Bullshit. Fuck that scene. Anyway. The Almighty is some funny looking eyes, not something I would personally like aesthetic choice. Look at me and my funny looking 3 pupils, and I can see subjective futures funny. Naruto's the gayest MC I've seen in a minute. Oh man. Let me finish up. Seth. Oh yeah. I remember that. The Naruto versus Ichigo animation. Man, I would love to make a Naruto versus Luffy animation. I think that shit would be so fucking sick, dude. Appointment confirm. Yeah, whatever. Man, I think it would be so cool to make a Naruto versus Luffy animation, like a legitimate one, right? Like Naruto maybe like going up to like Tailed Beast mode, KCM2, or like Six Path Sage mode as Luffy goes into Gear 5, as Luffy's are like bouncing around in Gear 5 after maybe punching him in the face away, and him throwing in like a Tailed Beast Bomb at Luffy just from like grab the ground and shoot it right back at Naruto. I think that shit would be fucking peak, man. You can't stand rewrite channels. I'm not a fan of them. I could definitely say that. You can move on, not wish harm and revenge, but not necessarily work with a person again. Forgiveness doesn't mean you need to keep them around. It just means you don't have to harbor that hatred anymore. I 100% agree with this. I 100% agree with this. Is a rewrite channel? Yes, it's fan fiction at times, and it improves, especially on the side characters like the other Konoha 11, and way better world. It's fun to listen to. I can imagine that, especially for like a writer. I can definitely imagine that. Who wins, Alabaster Crocodile or Zabuza? Zabuza does cover him in water, so he can be hit, but also Zabuza isn't fast enough to just dodge Crocodile grabbing him at any point and literally just absorbing all of the stuff inside him. An entire group of Scalar, Seth, Chuck, and Noodles, and even Six and Swag, they are certified clowns. I get why we all mess up, but these guys aren't apologetic, nor do they have demonstrated personal growth. What has Swag done, though? Like, besides maybe, like, working with Seth again, what has he done? I don't know. Never mind the allegations were okay. You may like them, but they are the biggest cringe lords in scaling. I respect the owner's opinions, but I can't stand those. That's fair. 100%. That's why I said that there's a lot of characters for God and just not talked about. Just odd. Okay. Naruto is the most wild protagonist I've seen in a minute. He used the harem jutsu on B to try to get him to help. Naruto's freaky as fuck. That's what I'd be saying. Because it works on everybody else. Why wouldn't it work on this guy? Fun fact. There was a Naruto x Sasuke manga that came out before the ending of Naruto, and a lot of scenes are identical. Kishimoto knew exactly what he was doing and then disappointed us. That's crazy. Is that true? I didn't know that. Is that true? Seth is one of the best debaters. Was watching Black Clover. Asta got S8'd. Where did Asta get S8'd? I don't recall this. Seth and Swag are great debaters. Plus Swag will remain the best Naruto YouTuber. They put it behind them because they realized it wouldn't make the money long term and destroy their true colors. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's okay to act like that at all. I do understand like the whole perspective also of like you don't have to work with this person. I do agree with that as well. Don't think you got to take a side or a YouTube. I don't take any sides. I don't really care. It doesn't really pertain to me. It doesn't necessarily pertain to me. When it comes to like shit like that, and when it comes to like most issues, I'm just like, it's gonna sound fucked, but like in a lot of cases, like there are things that definitely do matter, especially in this world. Especially more than like let's say YouTube drama and stuff like that. And with a lot of things, I'm just like, listen, I have no control over a lot of things in the world. I can't really tell you whether or not. I can't really give like a fully in-depth perspective on so many things just because I'm not really privy to them. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna live in my own box and space, right? Not to say that like if something fucked is happening and I have like a power to like let's say maybe do some kind of support or help something out, then you know I would probably do that. But like in general, when it's like you know situations with like YouTube dramas and all that stuff, I think it's always just best to keep your nose clean and just to stay out of all of that stuff as much as possible. I honestly, because like even if like let's say like I were friends with like let's say another YouTuber that ends up getting caught for like I don't know stealing money from fans or doing some wild shit XYZ, I'm just like listen, man, you and I are good, but like that's also fucked, and I can't work. I don't think like it would be right for me to work with you, not even for like my own stuff, but also because like that is kind of fucked. I'm not saying I harbor anything towards you, but also that is pretty fucking nutty, man. That is pretty you gotta figure that stuff out on your own, man. Who do you think is the worst thing about? What do you think is the worst thing about One Piece? I'm not even gonna. You know what? I'm gonna make it harder for myself and not say the pacing. I think the worst thing about One Piece is. Can I be honest? The sound design. The sound design sucks. I really don't like the sound design. But if we're talking like manga, hmm. I do not. If we're talking like animation, like prior to Wano, animation or like sound design prior to Wano, but that's mostly like anime stuff. I don't know. I don't really have like any. I don't really think that there's like a thing that's like really like the worst thing about One Piece besides like really just the pacing. Like the story's crafted well, the side characters are handled pretty decently. And the thing is that like I could probably say that like the worst thing is that like some of the Straw Hats just don't get as much love as like maybe Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, or maybe like the big five, like the first five Straw Hat members. You can maybe make that argument, but it's also like I trust that Oda is going to expand. I mean, he was basically going to start expanding on Brook with Gunko. He was almost going to start expanding on that. I do think that like maybe having a couple more questions answered would be nice. I think that maybe getting like, at least from my perspective as a not just as a scaler but just like as a fan that likes information, I would probably want more information on just certain tidbits of One Piece, like maybe how big the planet actually is. But I understand why Oda would probably not say anything or probably like keep certain information to himself, because he's also like, listen, it limits my ability to write stories. I think one of the worst things is honestly fucking Zunesha. I'll say Zunesha. Zunesha's the constant like changing of Zunesha's fucking size just sucks, man. It just fucking sucks. I don't like that. Oh no. If we had One Piece's writing, Naruto's fights, although give me some Gear 5 Luffy goofiness in there, and Bleach's art style and music and sound design, I think it would probably be the single most impressive anime slash manga of all time. Fuck it. Throw in JJK's fucking not power system, but throw in like a power system. Throw in a power system like JJ, as complex as JJK's, with abilities that are about as interesting. You throw in those four things, and fuck it, actually throw in JJK fights in there too, because JJK Naruto fights with JJK animation and fighting choreography, and I think you probably have like the best anime out there. I don't think anything tops it. I really don't think anything could top that. Like realistically, I just don't think anything could top that. How ironic do you think if you're trying to debunk something, people automatically assume you're being biased of a fanboy if your profile is the character? You know what's funny? I do have a profile picture of like Luffy that I've had for years now. Just ever since like Gear 5. I was just like, yeah, Gear 5 is sick. I kind of just want to have it. By the way, I'm gonna start reading some of the chapter pages because I need to refresh myself on this. And an hour will go by fast. Probably there is Naruto versus Luffy video. Oh wait, what are you guys talking about? At least Omar is consistently working. Who the fuck is Omar? I don't know who the fuck Omar is. Also, did you grow beyond 5'7" the last video you made and now, Unk? I am taller than 5'7". Fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you guys talking about? Who the fuck is Omar? Apologetic was Parrot, but WCP changed pretty much. I don't know, man. Okay, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like people need to actually look at the contents of your argument and not so much like the context of like what your name is or XYZ. Like, don't get me wrong. If I only have like a profile picture, but like if, for example, if I see someone with like the name, I'll give you guys an example. There's a guy who has like a Naruto profile picture and who essentially has like a Naruto ability plus the last name Uchiha, and I'm just like, and whenever I see any of their posts, like they definitely do glaze the fuck out of the verse, right? I can see why, like, there is just this general assumption that if you have a character profile picture or, like, their name in your thing, you're automatically biased towards anything and everything that they do. With how stretchy KCM Naruto moves with his chakra, I think he can adapt to the movements. I don't think he can adapt to that. I don't think it's even remotely the same, though. Like, Naruto creating chakra arms is not the same as Luffy expanding the size of one arm to then, like, I don't know, spin his arm around like a fucking corkscrew. Like, I just don't think it's, I just don't think that's the same. As Emily left Seth behind and subbed and never watched them again, I prefer to stay away from him and not support him. Yeah, same. We're just commenting on these guys. Thank you letting us having our opinion. YouTube's would have banned us. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, like, as long as nobody's outright, like, being here's the thing. I don't mind, like, people, you know, just having their discussions on my channel as long as you're not being hateful, you're not using any kind of slurs or any kind of, like, negative remarks, stuff like that about other people. Because, like, honestly, I just don't want to breed any kind of, like, toxicity. And once you let a little bit of toxicity in, like, you let the floodgates just start to open, and it's kind of hard to keep track of all of that. Oh, yeah, the sound design in One Piece is bad. The reboot better improve when it comes to that. Go hard on mute. That's crazy. That's funny as fuck, though. I think fake out deaths are probably one of One Piece's biggest sins. Okay, I can probably say that, like, fake out deaths are definitely a big issue. I can definitely say that, like, they are a big issue. I also think that, like, Big Mom should have been portrayed just a little bit better because she does seem a bit stupid at times. And it doesn't really help with the whole fact that, like, I do think... What about the fake outs? Spamming sword clashes. What about the fake outs? Yeah, the fake outs are bad. Yeah, I could definitely agree. Fake outs are bad. Bleach and Naruto really destroy One Piece when it comes to music. Yeah, but I would also say that, at least speaking only for myself, I would definitely say that there probably isn't a single Bleach song or a single Naruto song that comes close to me to, like, the Drums of Liberation. Like, the fact that the song that we've been hearing this entire time for One Piece, the Song of Liberation, the fact that, like, that has just... Fuck me, this is all pre-war. Hold on, I gotta do something real quick. Okay, 471, P1 and 2. Give me a second, I have to, like, fix this real quick, because I think I fucked up big time. Okay, so this is 4th Great Ninja War, this is all fine. Did I go to pre-war arc? Oh, please tell me I went to pre-war arc. Fuck me, I didn't, okay, I have to, like, move all of this. 4. 1 second. Oh wait, I'm gonna have to do it. Alright, fuck it. Let's do it like this again. Okay, so then we go down here. And then we do 1, 2, 3. And then we move all of this to 4th Great Ninja War Part 1. Okay. There we go. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. I remember when Luffy was swinging around Kaido and they kept spamming that one sound over again. Oh yeah, I'd say the worst thing about One Piece in the manga, the boring or bad arcs are longer than some mangas. I could see that. That's fair. That's fair. I could see that. Only characters that I can really forgive are fake out deaths are Saul and Vegapunk. Saul, because him surviving does make sense and it is an emotional weight, and Vegapunk because death for him is weird. Yeah, as long as the main body doesn't come back, I think I'll be fine. I think Bleach and One Piece are roughly even in music, while Naruto's a bit below them. You know what the thing is that, like, in most cases, I could definitely even say in terms of, like, theme songs, I probably do prefer Bleach and Naruto. The only thing is that, like, when it comes to, like, songs that carry, like, some level of, like, emotional weight for me, the Drums of Liberation do all of it, because it essentially is a song that we've been listening to since the very start of the series, but now we have full context for it. Oh shit, 471 P5. There we go. Who wins? Toji versus Sasuke Retrieval Squad. Honestly, You can definitely make the argument that Toji's probably about as fast as they are. It's probably about as fast, if not probably faster than they are. I think Bleach and One Piece are... Naruto's music is a trillion times better than One Piece. Do you think Ulquiorra Schiffer in Segunda Etapa and Coyote Stark in Resurrección are pretty relative to each other in various power stats? Stark is likely better stamina and energy output. I think you could probably argue that Stark is better in terms of like the energy output, but I do think that you can probably argue Ulquiorra has a higher... You could probably argue that like his Cero Oscuras is probably stronger than Cero Metralleta. You could probably make that argument. P9. And then is this P10. Also, fun fact, I think it was this chapter. This is the first physical manga that I ever purchased. Volumes 49 and 50. These are like the first actual volumes I ever purchased. Omari, the guy who worked on Ichigo vs. Seth, wasn't getting paid by Seth. Mind you, Seth stole money from several people who just let him rock. That's crazy. Oh, that guy didn't... Oh, okay. Omar's the guy animating Naruto vs. Oh, right. Yes. In the power scaling world, which profile picture is the biggest red flag when it comes to bad takes? I don't know, man. I think that any profile picture, I'll say this, any profile picture of a character who also has either the name of the character, or a name that is basically just a bunch of references to the series. I think those probably have some of the worst takes. Cause like a profile picture alone, you can probably make the argument that like, both yes and no, they have like good or bad takes, but like, it's usually the people that like just make the entirety about the page just being like a character or something that like, you know, they'll probably have like the worst takes. I forget that Kisame Green in the manga. It looks like he's sick. You think that's green? Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, kind of looks a little sick, a little sickly. Also, I thought this was like the coolest thing when I first saw it. I always thought to myself, shouldn't Kisame be able to like defuse with this sword and like become a shark? I was so surprised when Kishimoto actually did it. If you have One Piece and Toriko world building, Bleach, ReZero, and Demon Slayer sound design, Kengan Asura, aura farming and tactics, Kengan Naruto, DBZ, JJK fights with JJK and Hunter x Hunter hacks with their dynamics peak. Yeah, I think that would be crazy. That would be the strongest anime ever as far as quality. I would agree. I would agree. I would definitely agree. Man, Toriko world building is so fucking underrated, Thine. It really is fucking underrated. Especially to like the extent of like stuff that we get as far as like just all of like the beasts, the catcher levels, like the locations on the planet. Like holy fuck. It really does make you feel like this world is alive, especially with to the level to the detail that they go to with many of these foods. Reborn, the Straw Hat Pirates, Clear, the whole Bleach, and Naruto OST. How did you lose your entire database, by the way? So, I don't know if you guys recall this, but when I was working off of my laptop, I was using a hard drive. I was using a separate hard drive so that I could essentially store up all of my stuff because my laptop just didn't have like the memory space for it, which, you know, fine. The issue that arose though was that because my laptop is one of those like tablet laptops, everything that is, you know, all of the hardware that essentially goes into like a computer was essentially on the screen, and I guess because of like wear and tear through so many years, it's not like it unplugs easily, but certain movements would actually disconnect it from the certain movements would actually like disconnect it from the base, which would disconnect it from the hard drive. And as some of you may know, when you disconnect a hard drive without properly disconnecting it, it can actually fuck up the hard drive. I wasn't having any issues with it on its own, but around the time that I ended up getting the computer, that's when it fucked up on me completely. By the time I actually ended up getting a second hard drive to like transfer all the data over, it just wasn't even reading the hard drive anymore. So I was just like, fuck it, and I kind of smashed it. I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, there's no way that this shit's gonna work. Like, it just would not read anything at all. I was just like, and even a friend of mine who kind of knows about this stuff, he was like, no, that shit just sounds like it's fried to me. Like, it was making weird noises and everything. So I was just like, yeah, this thing is just fucked, man. Fuck it. It's fine. I'll just work. I'll just get everything again. I could definitely thank, especially my mod and some of my members, because they actually ended up helping me get a lot of like One Piece stuff, a lot of like the One Piece information back in. But it has been a bit of an issue for me, I will say. Also, really weird thing, but they don't look like they, at least like the distance and even like, you know, between like the distance and the movement that these guys were like traveling, it didn't look like they were moving that fast. I don't know. Bang Sake, amazing song, simple and memorable, tied to a sad and emotional moment. How would you rank each Yonko introduction? I guess Big Mom, Whitebeard, Shanks, Kaido. No. Big Mom, Blackbeard, Buggy, Big Mom, Buggy. Sorry, no, wait. Big Mom, Blackbeard, Buggy, Whitebeard, Shanks, Kaido. I don't think anything is yet to top Kaido for me. I mean, it's a pretty strong start when you literally, when like the whole point of what, oh, what the fuck? 472? 472? 11, page 11. Okay. Page 10. Okay. I think it's an interesting topic how Naruto would go if Luffy was in Naruto's place. When Sasuke leaves the village, Luffy would probably leave him. Yeah, no, he would 100% just, he wouldn't help him out. He would just be like, all right, leave. If you want to leave, just leave. If his reasoning for Sasuke doing it is essential, if Sasuke's reasoning for it, even if Luffy like disagrees with it, is something where he's like, well, I guess it depends, because with I'm trying to think of like maybe like Sanji leaving the crew, but it's also like, I imagine it's being that, but it also like depending on like the time frame for it, I don't think that like Luffy would just stay quiet about it, but at the same time, it's one of these cases where like this is actual resolve on his end rather than him just being sad and things just not making sense. Anyone who has X character solos as the name is trash immediately. Probably. Then you promised to do JoJo power scaling in a live stream at the end of the year. Is it coming? I could probably make that work. I could probably make a stream about JoJo scaling. I just have to read through JoJo again, man. Anytime I make one of these promises, I'm usually under like the idea that I'm getting a lot more content out than I normally am, and it's yeah. I honestly just don't have an excuse for that. I just haven't been consistent with a lot of my promises, and for that I do want to apologize. Like I do want to do JoJo's content. I do want to do Blue Lock content. I want to do all this other stuff, but I'm just like, man, I just gotta put something out, man. And trying to read through a lot of these series while also not putting out content. I'll put it like this. If I can get, not so much if I can get, if I can not only rebuild my database but put out more channel content and like just really get back into like the groove of things, I feel like it'll be a lot easier, because that way I'm not like re-downloading so much stuff again. Does that make sense? P3. Okay. Did you guys think Hisame tastes like shark? He's a human, man. Weird looking motherfucker, but he's definitely human. The takes I hate hearing is character X hurt character Y, so character Y can do this, therefore they're equal. You should get an SSD for your storage for your database. Yeah, no, it was an I think it was an SSD. Wait, is SSD like the small ones or is it like the big ones? I had like it was like a big like, not like a brick, but it was like a big like card. About the V-Ray card, what I melt about Luffy not being pre-Lightspeed, it's because it shows a picture of Luffy getting kicked by Kizaru and Marineford with text besides it saying, a kick moving at the speed of light. Is there anyone who can match the speed of light? I think that's more so, let me see. Actually, no, let me, can you just give me, I think he's I mean, he's not sub-relativistic because he can dodge beams of light, so he can't be sub-relativistic. And again, I'm going to take what the source material says and does over what some supplementary material does. It would also be more inconsistent for Luffy. It would actually be inconsistent for Luffy to only be sub-relativistic or even not even light speed. Like, to dodge an attack, like, you cannot tell me. Listen, here's the thing. A statement like that could actually be considered, inconsistent with even the scaling of the series, considering that Luffy cannot be sub-relativistic. He cannot even be relativistic if he's able to avoid a beam of light after it's been fired. Okay, this is all the Killer Beast stuff. No, I still need the Sasuke stuff. It's after Pain Arc, so it should be 60? No, prior to this. 50? Fuck me, it's actually before the fucking Pain Arc? No way, dude. Yeah, it is. It fucking is. Alrighty then. This is clean. I love this. Hey, look. All of them are Kage except for Jiraiya. Cool. I don't know. 410p2. Click. I really do love the art style for Naruto, man. I honestly, fuck Bleach's art style. Just give me a series of Naruto's art style again. So Big Mom had the worst introduction. I mean, if we're talking about introductions, it's like Big Mom essentially just be like lying on her side, just talking to Luffy and the others, just threatening them. That's kind of it. That is kind of where it ends for her. You know what I mean? Well, they do the not even close in a lot of their videos. Blackbeard's introduction to this slow. But Blackbeard's introduction doesn't really seem that impressive to me because all he's doing is just laughing his ass off. I only put it above Big Mom's because in Big Mom's case, like, all she's doing is lying on her side and it's like her first introduction. Meanwhile, with him, it's like, this is his first big introduction to, like, him finally, like, you know, him being a Yonko. Right? Like, the new design, everything. Like, him saying, like, you're not ready to be a Yonko yet, Straw Hat, stuff like that. Naruto over fiction? I mean, that's pretty crazy. Yes, stars, solar system, King Vegeta. Yes, MFTL plus. Godzilla, despite tanks hitting him still. I like them. I like watching them to have debunks for others. Bro thinks Heisei Godzilla is like 5D. Like, come on now. The beams traveling in a long distance and what he dodges. How do you know the beam's traveling a longer distance than what he dodges? And also, it is a beam of light. It's traveling at the speed of light. For him to move his body out of the way when it's already traveled a distance means he has to still move his body faster than the beam of light, especially since he has to accelerate his body. Yeah, no. I would actually count an SBS over a fucking V-Ray card anyway. To be fair, Oda's SBS isn't all to be taken seriously or as a fact unless we believe Skypiea, Usopp are light speed because they dodge Enel's lightning bolts. He said you need to duck at the speed of light. Yeah, I've said this before. I don't think that necessarily means that they're light speed, but if you want to use it, I'm not going to stop you. It just is a line of scaling people can use, even if it doesn't really make that much sense. Do I think Usopp and Nami have at least, you know, whatever you think lightning speed is? Do I think they have like lightning speed reaction time? 100%. May got done dirty more so in Boruto. How wasn't it? How did you feel about Big Mom's rampage over wedding cake? That's one of the things that I'm like, you know, it really. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm supposed to believe that the 4 great pirates of an era have to have a firepower that is equal to that of the world government, which is why the world government needs so many things like not the world government, the Marines. We'll just say the Marines, which is why like you have to like make all these arguments about like the Marines, you know, needing to have the pacifists, the warlords, just to tip the scales, just to tip the balance of just to tip the. I'm just gonna put all of this as Pain Arc, right? Because Pain Arc is like 20-something chapters. 1 second, let me think this through. What should I name this? Itachi / Pain Arc folder. Itachi through pain arc. We'll Itachi through pain. Yeah, we'll just throw it in here. 408. You know what? Does it matter? Does it really matter if I just... Let me do it like this. Does it genuinely matter if I just... You know what? I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to be lazy. If I don't already have yeah, I'm just going to be lazy. I'll do the thing I did for Bleach. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It still says what the chapter fucking number is. I don't care. Oh yeah, so I'm supposed to believe that like the Yonko, right? This person that is supposed to be on an equal level to like Shanks, Whitebeard, Kaido, all these motherfuckers. Well, Kaido's not really introduced yet. I'm supposed to see like this massive range of power. And don't get me wrong, Big Mom is extremely impressive. She can change the fucking weather. She can just control the weather. Like I don't know how people don't get how crazy that is, but and just like swinging her blade with a blast of, if you want to say it's advanced Conqueror's Haki, I think it is. That like just creates a massive hole larger than Hollow Purple through a bunch of bricks, but it's essentially just a blast of physical force, really. And she just has it caved like right through her kingdom into the ocean, right? But then like she's rampaging about wedding cake and like these hunger pangs essentially. I'll put it like this. I don't think that Big Mom, I don't think that she's fighting at her best, but I do think she's not holding back. There's a difference between like you fighting at like the peak of your physical capabilities and then you fighting and then you not holding back your attacks, but you also not fighting as efficiently as possible, right? I think that it's the latter for her. She's not fighting as efficiently as she could. She's not moving as efficiently as she could, but she is, you know, doing some real crazy shit with the stuff that she can do, right? So it creates like this weird dichotomy where it's like Big Mom is a massive threat, but also she's kind of just fighting on a... She kind of just is acting the fuck up, dude. Like, is that the best way to describe it? She's sort of going through like this weird mental state where like all she's focusing on is the wedding cake, so everything she does isn't necessarily like a real testament to her capabilities, more so just like a comment on what she could really do if her mind wasn't entirely focused on this one thing. By the way, I'm gonna also take this because this is pretty fucking badass. Documents, Library of Ohara, profiles, Naruto. I'll take this for Sasuke. I do like this. I'm gonna start taking these myself. Yes, you can avoid a beam of light while being realistic depending on the distance and reaction time. But you have to accelerate your body to at least be faster than the beam of light in order to get out of its range. Well, you see, he destroyed the creator of IDW Comics, the King of Hell, so he's outer. Blackbeard, king of boasting and off-screen feats like his dad Rocks, has shown a good share of crazy scaling through with his Herald stuff. Yeah, I agree with that. It says you want to duck at light speed. One Piece. SBS. Is it the NL stuff right here? No. Where was the NL statement from? No, SBS. $450. $450. That's kind of deep. First, duck at the speed of light. It doesn't say you want to duck at the speed of light. It just says duck at the speed of light. Any line of scaling being as long as it's consistent over 99% of other scaling. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's more consistent to say they're faster than light than to say that they're not. SBS. Big Mom can remotely sink fleets is wild to think about. Like she can just send a cloud and a sun to fuck up the ocean where someone is coming through. On top of that, on top of this, you got members like Oven. Yeah, that can just boil the fucking ocean to the point where what was it again? It can literally sink ships on its own as well. I describe it as having to fight against herself with what's left of the battlefield. She faces others. The term describes her hunger pangs as berserking, no self-control and not caring about the collateral. That's fair. Guess how many times she said wedding cake before she reaches there? I don't know, man. Speed is just distance over time, meaning if Zoro dodges a beam of light, travel greater distance than what Zoro was to move to dodge it. Alright. What is it, like 467? No, way farther than that. So, for Kuma to do the pad cannon, he has to thrust his arm down. So this is how far his arm would be. Zoro dodges it. Cool. Okay. Let's say that's... Sure, let's say that's not light speed. Okay, sure. Let's say that's not light speed because all he did was move slightly, right? Even though he had to perceive and attack a blast of air that is moving at the speed of light. Sure, let's just say that's relativistic, right? What would you call this when he has to actively dodge multiple attacks that are all the speed of light? What would you call that? You necessarily need FTL scaling. If a beam of light is a meter from you, moving out of the way does not require you to cover the same distance. It depends on how fast you react. Yeah, but you still have to move your body out of the way because you're also evading. She said it 59 times. That's crazy. You have to also evade the explosion itself. Right here. I like how you commented this in this when I have the panel up that says, yeah. What's next? He's deflecting air at the speed of light, so it's not traveling at the speed of light. Okay, so how fast is it then? Quantify it. How fast is the pad cannon then? That's the thing. How fast is it then? Nobody else comment. I want a response. What is the speed then? How would you rather feed for a week $1 million? Fat Boo, Big Mom, Luffy. Luffy. What speed is it then? If it's not light speed, then what speed is it? What's the speed of the pad cannon then? Not light speed? Why wouldn't it be light speed? He's reflecting air at the speed of light and it travels at consistent speed the entire time. It doesn't slow down. It's never once even remotely implied to slow down, so why wouldn't it travel at the speed of light? Yeah, okay. Anyway. Ursa's shock, cool. So, here's about as far as Kuma is from Zoro. Shoots the beam of light. Zoro flies about as far away. Even if you're looking at the feet for the Rasen Shuriken, can you... For a feet for the Rasen Shuriken. 421, thank you. You know what? Aster, you mind bringing this up for me a little bit? I'm gonna keep 421 in mind. I have to keep 421 in mind. 1 second, because since I'm already here, I'll just move up slowly. We're like at 4 something. Yeah, we're at 410, so we'll just get there in a second. Content, no. Library, Naruto. You know what? I have to move that panel. Oh, wait, no. Go back. Yeah. I have to do that again. Okay, here we go. And I also have to move that. I should be downloading the fucking Naruto Sage stuff too, shouldn't I? No. I'll just open up the second page. Okay, there we go. Move this here. Okay, and then what is it called? 04. It's what is it? 0451 dash 02. I think that's it. Yeah, that should be it. Okay. You sure you choose Luffy over Boo, Goku, and Scooby-Doo? I choose Luffy over... Well, it depends on what version of Fat Boo. When you said Fat Boo, I was thinking of like the evil Majin... The time that he was evil. That's kind of what I was thinking of. 1 second. Man, I don't think... It's never said that the shockwave is the beam of light. Yeah, and it's never said that the Raikage is light speed either. So what are we doing here? People assume that the Raikage is light speed and is V2, even though the only statement within the entire context of the story is that he is that he can run at almost the speed of light in V1, and yet people assume that he is light speed. He is repelling a blast of air at the speed of light, and yet the paw pad itself isn't light speed. Like, come on. Like, you see where the issue is? You see where the issue is then, right? If you're going to have these kinds of thought processes for anything like this, you have to have the same thought process for everything else. That's not a mistranslation. That is not a mistranslation, because guess what? The Japanese translation uses the term, uses the kanji, gotoku or gotoki, light like, no, it does not say like speed. It says light like, using a kanji that is normally used in simile. You know what a simile is? It uses a term that uses like or as, but never. It uses the term like or as, but it's never used as a. It uses the term like or as, but it's never used as a direct comparison. No, he's saying that it repels the air at the speed of light. That's what he's trying to say. If you're going to be this anal about, this one thing in One Piece being light speed, even though it's not directly stated to be light speed, even though it's saying that it is being repelled at the speed of light. By the way, this definitely goes for the whole like Naruto x Sasuke thing. Like, come on now. They got little pendants of each other. They got little pendants of each other in from like their Shippuden states. And this is Sasuke with his long hair now, which means this is more recent. Kishimoto knew what the fuck he was doing. Yeah, light like speed. Yes, light like speed. And it says, yeah, and guess what? The light like speed uses a kanji that is normally used in similes. A simile is never a direct thing. A simile is used to compare something to something else, but it's never used to make it a direct comparison. Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee, as an example. I'm gonna just delete this one and re-download it. If you're going to use that kind of logic, for One Piece, you're going to have to use that kind of logic the same way for Naruto. So question, what is the mesh garment I always see Naruto wearing? Is it a mesh shirt or something? It's like a mesh shirt. I'm not saying he's like... Yeah. Okay, so then what are you saying? Okay, so then he's not okay. So here's what I'm trying to say. In the exact same way that you could try to argue, it's a simile, okay. All I'm trying to say here, look, I'm just going to make it simple. All I'm trying to say is, if you're going to argue that a shockwave from Kuma that is stated to repel the air at the speed of light is not light speed because it's not directly stated to be light speed, then guess what? Nothing in Naruto is light speed. Kirin isn't light speed. The Raikage is not light speed. Nothing's light speed then. Yeah, the pad cannon. Yeah. The pad cannon is being repelled at the speed of light. not the Raikage. That's fine, but what I'm saying is, if you believe that the Raikage is light speed, what I'm saying is, if you believe that the Raikage is light speed, even though he does not have a single light speed statement, you cannot say that the pad cannons aren't light speed either. What makes the Raikage light speed then? You know what? All right, I'll remove the whole Raikage stuff. I'll remove the whole Raikage stuff. Hey, no need to apologize. What's up, Mystery X? Mystery X. What's up? You know what? Just remove the whole Raikage stuff. Let's not even talk about the Raikage stuff. I'm going to ask you this then. How do you quantify how fast this attack is? Because saying not light speed isn't sufficient for me. Because here's the thing. The same bullshit that I hear about, like, oh, well, the pad cannon can't be light speed even though Zoro literally dodges a pad cannon and a beam of light. So again, consistent. It's the same shit that I hear with, like, the pacifista beams of light. It's the same bullshit that I hear with them where it's like, okay, but the beam of light isn't stated to be light speed. You know what I mean? It's the same bullshit. It's the same argument. It's quite literally just the same argument. No, it's actually farther back than this. It's the same thing right here. It's a beam. A beam is a light ray. Do you know how amazing it would be to a weapon like that actually existed? Yeah. Specifying it multiple times. That's Kizaru's laser. In addition to the Bartholomew Kuma's body, he recreated Kizaru's attack power, Vegapunk. I didn't think Vegapunk. I didn't think the pacifistas had come already this far. And yet, I have people also telling me this is the beams of light these things shoot aren't light speed. You calc it, and it doesn't pass light speed. I'm not saying it's faster than light. I'm saying it's light speed. Hey, what's up, Redeemer of Light, of Dark, Redeemer of Light. It's been ages since I caught your last stream. Sorry about that. No, don't apologize, man. If anyone can come in for a stream, that's fine. If somebody can't, that's completely fine. I'm just here to hang out for the most part for the day. It helps me, it helps me kind of stay on track with what I'm supposed to do. The laser attack is a light speed attack, plain and simple. What is clear for the passive laser character have time to react because of the short charge up. And even then, if I start to move, and even then, for example, if I start to move, even if it's charging up, if I start to move, the beam of light, if the beam of light starts to shoots at me while I'm still trying to get there, it would still be faster than I am. It would still hit. If Kuma's attacks aren't light speed, I'm gonna have sad news for Kizaru. I think Roha's arguing that the way Zoro dodged it doesn't make his movement light speed. I know, I understand what he's trying to say, but what I'm trying to say here is that, like, okay, let me actually, fuck, I'm gonna have to find the chapter again. Fuck. You know what? Let's move it up, like, what, 3 chapters? If Mifune has a light speed attack and doesn't say it and show in Kyuubi Cloak because it's talking about the jutsu itself, and Sasuke reacted to it, and the Raikage... No, Sasuke didn't react to that attack. Sasuke reacted to other samurais using an attack. Also, when did Sasuke... Also, not even when did Sasuke... When did Mifune use that attack? When did Mifune use that attack besides when he was in 5 Kage Summit? Let me see. Let me download this as well. 1 second. Let me get through this, and let me get through this chapter, and then we'll go check real quick. I don't know why you refuse to use the Discord to help you find the info. Most of us already posted. Wait, that's Vegas. Fuck. Dude, because I'm already using this, and I want to pull up Discord. Samurais have that attack. Is it not? Oh, well, I guess Vegas isn't starting up. Okay, that's fine. 450, 459, 462. Is this the same attack that he's using? Because I don't... This attack isn't named. This attack named. Let me see. Naruto Samurai. Alright, nearly a spread. The third Tsuchikage claims that any samurai be foolish enough to channel their chakra. That also allows them to reach their sword extent, to alter their shape. Samurai Iaido, which increases the speed of their draw strength and signals in order to perform ninjutsu. This is not the same as Mifune's attack, for starters. This is not the same as Mifune's attack. It looks the same. They're shaping their swords as well. I have no reason to believe these attacks are the same light speed slash. When does Sasuke fight Mifune in anything here? I was like, what, 411, 412? Okay, just trying to make sure. I have to get farther because this is when Sasuke was... Okay. Okay, when did Sasuke use... When is Danzo using his light speed slash? When did Danzo use it? Yeah, he reacted to Darui's laser circus. I've never said that Sasuke didn't react to that, but here's the difference. Sasuke cannot move out of the way. Sasuke cannot avoid the attack. All he can do is set up a Susanoo, which as I've mentioned before, I do think, if I go by the data book, I do think that the Susanoo can spawn at light speed. That I have said. That is completely fine. And not even just that, it's also the fact that, doesn't Sasuke also just have precognition that allows him to see what the fuck his opponents are gonna do? Wow, I've never seen this in the manga, it's only in Storm 3. No, yeah, it's really pretty. It's really pretty. Now, I meant instead of building a database on the Discord, mostly has everything in because with the Discord, I have to legitimately... Okay, let me put it like... Oh, wait, it finally spawned in. Exit program. With the Discord, when I try to download the images, they don't have the same thing, so I have to rewrite them anyway. And with this, it's already there, and I don't have to like look up the actual manga chapters. Mifune. The only time that Mifune does the attack that you're talking about, he has a QB cloak on. Mifune, light speed, sword slash. Yeah, this is the only time he ever does this attack. Literally the only time he ever does this attack. There's never another, I don't think there's ever another example. All the Pacifista are robots. They charge up while they're targeting, but only fire once locked on. You can't aim dodge them. Pretty much. Pretty much. Your last comment, sorry. Which MC took an ass beating you felt they deserved to get? What do you mean, like an ass beating they deserve to get? Luffy does kind of deserve a lot of the ass beatings that Nami does give him. Because, like, he is spending the Straw Hats' money, or he's essentially putting their lives at risk by jumping off a fucking cliff. Probably Luffy. Probably Luffy. The upgraded Pacifista can. According to the data books, the Sharingan predictions are based on muscle movement. Yeah, no, they're based on muscle movement. But again, when each of them were going to attack him, you can see right here, they were readying up. They were readying up from him literally walking up, making hand signs, and then throwing his arm out. Her about to swing her scythe. Gaara's the only one where you can basically say that, like, Sasuke can't read it as well, but even then, he just has to read the sand. Aim dodging on a lock-on targeting system is pretty normal? Not really. Thoughts on Toriko X Komatsu? Listen, I'm not about to talk about Toriko X Komatsu. For those of you guys that don't know, all I'm saying is Komatsu is not taking shit. Komatsu is not taking it from Toriko. Look at the difference between these two. He is ripping Komatsu in half. Ass beating from an antagonist. I don't know about any ass beating that they did deserve. I don't know, man. Ichigo getting a hole put through him by Ulquiorra, I guess. I think what he's talking about is in the fight with Haku early on. I think Haku makes a statement about him being able to move in here like at the speed of light or some shit. It's the hamster and banana meme. Pretty much, actually. Pretty much. This is going to be Komatsu after quite literally one round with Toriko. This is literally going to be Komatsu. I'm not even lying. Like, this is pretty much going to be Komatsu. Anyway. I have to get back to, like, taking the images in. What was it? Like, 412? Was I in? 412? What was the last chapter we downloaded? Does anybody remember? I shouldn't expect you guys to remember that. That's not for you guys to remember. Yeah, we definitely got these. Did we get this? We did. Okay. And then you said 421. I haven't forgotten, Aster. 421. We're still just talking about. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to gather information for B and the others. I think that, you guys think that, like, all the Jinchuriki should have had, like, different color instead of it just being red? I don't know how I felt about seeing, like, Killer B with a red cloak. I don't know. I think it would have been cool if, like, they each had, like, a different, like, massive colored coat. Yeah, I agree. I think it would have been better with like just like a tad difference in color. Like it like the chakra differences didn't even have to like be like that different, because if I remember right, the in the anime, what's his face? Ukitake, the Six Tails Jinchuriki, he turned blue. He turned like a darkish purplish blue. Asking from an antagonist. I did ask. Oh wait, well, what about Vegeta and Sasuke with Cell and Killer B? What about Vegeta and Sasuke with Cell and Killer B? I mean, didn't you ask for like protag? I don't know if I would really call them like protagonists. I mean, they're not main characters, so I guess I didn't see it. You know what? Vegeta did deserve that kill. If you're talking about like Deuteragonist as well, yeah, no. Vegeta definitely deserved that. Like Sasuke was humbled, right? No, but you said MC. You said MC, right? MC is like the main character. I don't know if I would necessarily say that. I would also be helpful. What the hell Naruto is cutting in 421? I got you in just a second. I got you in just a second. We're almost at four. We're almost there. But the back to the thing. So back to the question at hand before. So a big thing that like. A big thing about like Vegeta versus Cell is that like Vegeta 100% did not need to let Cell go all out, right? Yeah, Saiyan genetics, that's what they be like, blah blah blah. It's all bullshit to me, man. It is all legitimate bullshit to me. Vegeta, that was one of the dumbest decisions for like plot-induced decisions that really made me think like there is no reason Vegeta should have ever have had to do it other than like they needed to give Cell a full transformation, and we just needed to get him to that point somehow. I don't know, man. Also, the 421 stuff, we're gonna get there in just a tad bit. I just need to finish collecting these, and then, Kagutsuchi. This was his left eye ability? Yeah, this was his left eye ability. His right eye was Amaterasu. No, his left eye is Amaterasu, his right eye is Kagutsuchi, right? Also, the fact that Sasuke just didn't have like a massive fucking big ass weird looking scar in his chest after all that bullshit was crazy to me, man. '21, right? Okay. I think somebody tried to... Oh, yeah. Ooh, this is good. Fuck. I don't know how big these things are. Is there an anime version of this? Does anybody know what episode this? And funny and ironic part is, if Cell was the protagonist, everyone would have said he can plot armor into Vegeta's situation. Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, that would be a funny little twist. Oh, okay. I think I gathered every piece of information I needed on Naruto and B. I have everything I think I need for the Vice Admirals. I downloaded the videos themselves for the Vice Admirals. Does anybody know what episode? $159. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Naruto. The fuck? Is there a Naruto Kai? The fuck is this? Fan project dedicated to removing filler, padding, and other executive-minded nonsense and made Naruto anime series the mess that it is. Each episode roughly corresponds to each volume of the comic, running for about 1.5 to 2 hours. So, like... So you're telling me if I click on episode 22 right... Hold on. Let him cook. We're not gonna actually watch this, but, like... I'd have to watch this, like, on a stream on Discord. But, like... Oh, these are, like, an hour long. Okay. This is cool. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Naruto Shippuden. Look, ninjas can't reinforce their back. Oh, shit. Damn. Oh, that's funny. What was it? 159. 159. Asura Path. Okay, so maybe it's like the prior chapter to this? Okay. That's why Naruto ninjas lose to back shots canonically. Listen, I'm not gonna make a comment on that. Even when on guard. Ooh, no, we're not. No sound. We don't need sound. Wait. I just need to know of a specific moment. Because if I can get the... I have to make sure that, like, I watch this in such a way that, like, I can't get DMCA'd. Wait. It's around here. Wait. Let me times 2 it. Okay, so he's still in Sage mode. Okay. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, you know what's funny? So, let me actually talk about this real quick. I still don't understand how Amaterasu went from one-shotting beats and not being able to kill a samurai to almost killing the Ten Tails. Guess random samurai over all the Biju. You know, it's not even that. It's not really, like, almost killing the Ten Tails. Because, like, it did damage the Ten Tails, especially considering, like, the massive size that it had. Wait, how the fuck did it turn off, actually? Didn't I glob off the damage? Hold on. When the fuck... Sasuke joins the fight. No, this is way after. We need to go, like, what, 33? Naruto and Sasuke, by the way, eyeballing one another. Like, when Sakura said I finally caught up to them, this is how I know it was bullshit, because Naruto and Sasuke weren't even, like, paying attention to anything she did. It was like, okay, so this is what the Nine Tails power is like. So this is a new Sharingan in Black Flame. Like, come on now. Okay, I need to see the whole wait. I'm gonna put an end to this failing system, the new one, and then the new... No, it globbed off that attack, right? It globbed off that attack. No, but that attack actually increased in size massively, right? I guess it wasn't going to nearly kill them. Yeah, I guess it wasn't going to nearly almost kill the Ten Tails. Oh, also, didn't the samurai have, like... Didn't the samurai also have, like, whatchamacallit? Like, armor on? It's a case like with Madara where, like, he just takes it off, right? I'm confused. Why? What do you mean you can't view the... No, it's not so much that, like, I can't view the Discord pics. Let me just bring it up. Fuck it. I'll show you. Besides the fact that Discord takes, like, 5 to 10 fucking years for me, dude. I don't think Amaterasu is weak. I think it burns like a motherfucker, and I don't think you can, like, take it off normally, but it just, everyone it hits either can shut it off, glob it off, or block it by protecting themselves with chakra or armor. You know what I mean? Discord takes forever, dude. Partially why I don't like using it. Anyway, I'll just wait for that to load. Okay. So, when it comes to, like, Naruto's, attack potency... Wait, did I download the chapter that, you brought up? Over here. Let's see... you said... You said Naruto, right? For example, Ninja Scrolls. From chapter 602, 604. Right, so I don't have the pages for this. So, like, see, this is the issue that I have. One, it's a .webp file. This is the issue that I have with them. When I try to download them, it's a .webp file, right? Sure. So then, okay, I have to scroll back up. Chapters are separated. I don't know what most of these chapters are. Pages. Okay, in this case, 6 did put pages 44, 45, 46. Let me see again. This is a PNG. Okay. Are they in order? Okay, are they in order? 44, 45, okay, 40. Okay, these are in order. That's fair. Chapter 6, 466. They're in black and white. Chapter 4. These do not have the pages on them. So if you want reason as to why I don't kind of want to use them, it's partially because of this shit. Like, they don't all have, like, the page numbers on them. Some don't even have the chapter numbers on them. I'm not saying, like, again, anybody who did post them, you know, I'm not going to say, like, oh, bad on you or whatever. No, it's fine. But at least for the purposes that I'm trying to use it, I'd rather just have, like, the whole consistent story with it than rather than just, oh, well, here's a chapter, cool, let me download it, but then it's either a web.p file or it doesn't have the page and chapter number, therefore I still have to go for them. And some of them are also in black and white. The Boruto stuff, it's fine with it being black and white because it's all in black and white. I don't think there's a colored Boruto manga. But, yeah, it was going to. Naruto even calls him out, killing the Ten Tails, but also kill the Bijus. Never mind that. Burn up. There are other Biju inside the Giganto one. Douse the black flames when it's weak, and then Kurama and I will pull those Biju out of it. No, they all burn. I'm gonna put. Oh yeah, you were right. You play Pokemon Emerald Rogue? Yes, I do play Pokemon Emerald Rogue. I think I actually have like not on this PC, but I think I do have a ROM for it somewhere. I could probably play it. Green Bull versus Swamp Thing. Who wins? Probably Swamp Thing. If Green Bull is just trees and Swamp Thing can control all green, probably Swamp Thing. But I don't really know that well. Does Tsunade ever have like a scar on her, by the way? Does she ever have like a scar on her for like getting ripped to have it in midsection? I will say, healing through chakra is pretty interesting because like it does remove scars. The Vice Admirals win for me, but it'll be a hard fight. When am I not right? Good point. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? This looks like Daedra. Anyway, I think I got all the research I need for the Naruto stuff, and I think I got all the stuff I need for a White Piece. That was just about, like, formulating the actual context of the video. I'm gonna take a mini break right now and just read up on Bleach. I'll be back, guys. I'm gonna go get some water, and then I will start reading through Bleach. I gotta get through 10 chapters. So, what do you think would be between Doflamingo and Sukuna? Only if Sukuna if Sukuna can dodge the world cutting slash, probably him. But Doflamingo can just make clones of himself. Sukuna won't be able to tell the difference. He also blitzes. Like, it's really not close. Yeah. Sukuna blitzes. Sorry, not Sukuna blitzes. Sukuna gets blitzed like 10 times out of 10 by Dofi, and the only way I see him winning is if he like just lands the world cutting slash. But he would also have to land it on a version of Dofi and not one of his clones. Yeah, no, he's not dodging. He's not dodging any of that shit. Swamp Thing has probably killed a multiversal being in some runs. Kubo was not cooking with the Zomari design. Yeah, he wasn't. Zomari sucks. I don't think Zomari looks cool. I feel like he's just one of those espadas that like he just drew, and he just did not give a shit, cause Zomari does nothing. That is what I mean. Like Kubo has cool art style, and he definitely does have like drip, but like that's it. It's all again. It's just it's design over substance, man. It really just is. I'm gonna get a lot of hate when I start making content on Bleach. I already know it. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. This guy clearly can't see all of the intricate theming inside Bleach and all of the wonderful writing he did. This series is like what was that thing that somebody commented? I think it was Diode. He commented or they commented. I don't know their pronouns. They commented something along the lines of like White Mask Obito without the Biju versus Meguna. Who wins? I don't think Sukuna can... That's a weird one. I don't think Sukuna can... I don't think Sukuna has a way to definitively hit Obito through Kamui unless he's using domain expansion, and at any point if Obito pops out... That's a weird one. If you go under the idea that, like, Mahoraga can adapt to all phenomena... If he can adapt to all phenomena, it's a bit different because, like, it has to obtain the burden of adaptation. Sukuna can essentially obtain the burden of adaptation through, like, fighting Obito, but I don't know how Kamui can be used offensively in such a way that would allow Mahoraga to adapt to it. So I don't think that Mahoraga can innately do that. I don't think that Obito has a way of outright killing Sukuna in one hit, barring from, like, maybe doing the whole Soul Steal thing, which doesn't seem like something he would do in personality. It is a win condition. I just don't think that it's something, like, he can do in personality. And I don't know how exactly it would work under the confines of, like, Sukuna having two souls residing inside of his body. I don't think that Obito can just deal the raw damage that he needs to, like, kill Sukuna, all things considered, because, like, what does he really have that can do that? Like a large fire-style jutsu, sending in giant sending in giant shuriken that Sukuna just splits apart, or can at least like stop with his slashes. He can't see the slashes coming at all, so I don't know how that works. I don't know how like that would work to his favor. Sorry, not how that would work to his favor. I don't know how like Obito necessarily dodges them, because like the Sharingan is designed, I think like his Kamui like works automatically, but I don't know if it works automatically in a way that like it just auto sends him into Kamui regardless of him being aware or unaware of the attacks, or if Obito has to be aware of the attacks. Because like there are moments where like he's being attacked from behind, but I also feel like Obito is like savvy enough in battle where like the Sharingan, he just has to be aware that his opponent is going to attack him, rather than all he could do is BFR him. I mean, BFRing also works. Are you joking? You haven't 600 pages of light novels to understand the basic world buildings of Bleach. Yeah, no, I'm not reading. By the way, I'm gonna make this clear right now, and I'll probably just have to like, you know, timestamp this for the people that like, you know, whenever they ask me about this shit. I am not reading the fucking Can't Fear Your Own World shit. I'm not reading that bullshit. I'm not reading that. Like, if there's one thing I'm not doing is I'm not reading that. I do not like. You can also make a dedicated research channel where people post material only, so you can make it a bit easier on yourself. Part of that was kind of like the point of like maybe many of these scans, but the thing is that like, if people want, like, if anyone wants to help me out, I have the Library of Ohara here, which like essentially I can make it so that like, you know, if people want, they can just help me, send me like scans and stuff like that. There's an entire Google Doc where people can just like fill up with scans for like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece and stuff like that. Even JJK. When I lost my database, that's basically what I wanted it to like have, just in case anybody wanted to like help me and fill that out. It hasn't been filled out in a while, and I mean that there's no issue with that. I can do it on my own as well. It was just mostly at the moment, like I was just like really decentivized to even like go back to trying out, but that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. Library of Ohara has a really cool One Piece timeline. It's pretty neat. Really? Oh, that's neat. But besides that, yeah, so White Mask Obito without like the Biju versus Sukuna, it feels weird because it's like he's fighting three things at the same time. You could definitely argue that like Mahoraga and Agito are like slow enough that Obito doesn't necessarily have to like keep them in mind, but I don't know how well Obito's gonna figure out. I don't know if Obito's not figuring out how Mahoraga's adaptation works. I don't think he has the ability to. JJK characters are way more analytical than Naruto characters. I'm just gonna say it. Like I think Obito can enter phasing mode, and while in its automatic, I think also has pretty good durability. No, he definitely has good durability. I'm not denying that. He can tank a fucking Rasengan from Naruto right to the face. Granted, that was the white mess stuff, but he has good durability. I do think that he can actually tank Sukuna's slashes better than someone like Kakashi could. But it's more of a case of where like Obito's healing factor is not as good as Sukuna's healing factor, and I don't think that he can consistently dish out damage to Sukuna, who's going to be able to at least figure out. I think that Sukuna has a better chance of figuring out how Obito's Kamui works, rather than Obito figuring out how Mahoraga or Domain Expansion or any of this shit works. I'm sorry. Naruto characters are not as analytical as JJK characters, and there's not a single JJK character that's as analytical as fucking Sukuna. You can probably realize that it is adapting in general, but not exactly how it works. No, he can realize that it is adapting, but my thing is that like, and he might, and I'm even willing to give Obito credit in that like, he could probably figure out that it adapts when like its wheel turns, but like the Ghetto Mazo, that should do a lot of damage. That depends, because the Ghetto Mazo's power is kind of weird to me. It can send out like large lightning blasts and everything, but I don't know if like it's sending out large lightning blasts, and I don't know the scaling of the Ghetto Mazo would be powerful enough to like really be anything. And even then, as long as Sukuna is able to like tank them, he can always just burden the threat. He can always just burden the adaptation himself, and then just have Mahoraga fight the damn thing. I mean, we saw Mahoraga getting bigger as it was fighting what's his face, as he was fighting Sukuna. You could probably make the argument that Mahoraga could get big enough to where he can fight the Ghetto Mazo, or at least be like a big enough nuisance for it. I don't know though. I don't know. That's an interesting topic, though. That is an interesting topic. I do want to just focus on reading through Bleach. I have not been reading through Bleach, actually, now that I think about it. I was just downloading images because I did not care about the actual text on the page. I have Bleach versus One Piece and Naruto. Bleach wins with an inch the fight with Naruto, with One Piece, and Naruto lose. You think so? You think Bleach? Okay, so if I'm reading this correctly, sorry by the way, Monkey D King. I'm just having a tough time like really gathering this. You're saying Bleach beats One Piece by an inch. Okay, that's fine. But it loses to Naruto. Okay. Um. You have it's interesting. So you have Bleach between Naruto and One Piece instead of it being at the top. Can you try to explain that a bit more? I've never really seen somebody say that like Bleach. I don't care about like the placement so much as like I've never seen people. I think like the usual thing that I always hear is that like Bleach is the strongest of the three. Why do you put it below Naruto? It did also shoot out that weird Soul Dragon thing when Nagato used it once. Yeah, but the weird Soul Dragon thing that it used, it's a bit of a weird case where it's like I don't see Obito using that personally, but also does he have to like jam rods up his back in order for him to do that, right? And also does the chakra absorption, because it's called the chakra absorption dragon. I don't think it does anything to Sukuna, if I'm gonna be honest. Tatsumaki One Piece versus Big Mom. I have no fucking clue how strong Tatsumaki is. I saw her like rip apart a portion of the planet Earth. That's like bigger than anything Big Mom's done. But I don't think her just maybe actually throwing shit at Big Mom could probably be enough. The wank for Bleach is atrocious. I see. You disabled your left arm and your left leg and your left arm without hesitation. The instant the enemy takes control of something, you cut it, even if it's part of your own body. How ruthless! What a cold-blooded decisiveness! But that decisiveness appears rash. Left or your right arm and leg. Did I download this fucking image 3 times? What's wrong with me? This is how you know I'm not really focused on Bleach. Charles Xavier versus Obito, who when Charles makes Obito think that he is a toddler and he literally cradles him inside his hands. Why do you all agree, guys? Do you all agree with Shibai being 4D? I do not believe any of the Shibai shit. To me, it's all hearsay. Doesn't Bleach have characters that do very, very casual reality warping? Man, I don't know. I've yet to still see the whole reality warping shit. Would be foolhardy. Don't you agree? I told you. The difference between you and me is like the difference between heaven and earth. It's onerous. To give up an arm and a leg. But even so, it's onerous to give up an arm and a leg. Okay. I already have this, right? Yeah. But even so, you're still not my equal. Yeah, Zomari is ugly. A pity. You overestimate your own strength more than I expected. Here's one thing I failed to mention. The eyes are the key. Each of them can control one subject. You're quick to understand. I released the power of Amor with 2 of my eyes. That is to say, besides your left arm, I took control of something else. Also, why wouldn't it work? Because it absorbs chakra. From everything that I've read about the oh, I think I closed something. From everything that I read about the chakra absorption dragon, it absorbs chakra specifically. It's even in the name. It doesn't absorb the soul. It absorbs chakra, or at least it rips it out through the soul. Sorry, it rips the soul out through chakra. I don't know, man. Let me see. 537, by the way. Yeah, 537. Ghetto Mazo stuff. Again, I'll check out the Ghetto Mazo stuff after I'm done with Bleach. Actually, let me just check it out right now. They make themselves big. Go Ghetto statue over there. Okay. Punches it back. Roar. Shockwaves them away. Yeah, no, that shockwave might be a problem. Stops 2 giant cliffs. Cool. Lightning bolts. Okay. I can't believe my reserve move was so easily. My reserve ace was so easily. Sealed and jerky. Get the ninja tools. True shame, you're my enemy. So that monster is okay. Yeah, the Ghetto Mazo got like way bigger, didn't it? Didn't the Ghetto Mazo get like way bigger when it became the Ten Tails? Yeah, he needs to stab himself with this shit. I don't know if Obito's doing all that. Touches you, you die. Or teleportation. Chakra absorption. Dragon. No, it's not this. Oh, well, I guess they don't have that. Absorption. Or is it the soul absorption dragon? Soul chakra. Soul chakra absorption dragon. Naruto. Chakra. Alright, you know what? I'll just do it like this. Where the fuck is Nagato? Oh, sealing technique. No, that's not it. That's not it. Mm-hmm. Where the fuck is it? Actually, where the where? Whoa, 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 what? The demonic statue is able to emit a dragon that formed out of absorption chakra from its mouth, capable of instantly extracting the chakra from anyone. 447. This is the chapter. So it is the chakra that's ripping out. It's not the soul, right? I don't see Mahoraga tanking that. What, this? What, the lightning blast? Why wouldn't Mahoraga be able to tank it? Let me go back. 537. I guess it just depends on whether or not you think Mahoraga can tank this. I think that's fair. Okay, how high can you wank One Piece verse with the film Red stuff? I haven't watched the film Red stuff for power scaling purposes. I only watched it once. The high dimensional needs to be... Okay, I found it in the wiki. It seems that the dragon is literally made of absorption chakra like the barrier Predapath uses, I guess. Yeah. Like Zoro and Sanji, even better in different categories. How fast will One Piece characters end if Xavier was the main character? I don't really think there's any way to like really protect your mind in One Piece. Apparently one of the Bleach movies was made canon by the anime and things that happen do upscale the verse. Really? Fuck me. I have to watch a movie now. What do you mean by an inch? Katakuri loses by an inch? What are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? Every Mihawk upscales is actually an end of series Zoro upscale. That type shit, actually. By the way, from what I've implied, the reality warping doesn't happen until Thousand Year Blood Road, which is some of the newest stuff in the series. That helps a lot. Yeah, I mean, it does help, but at the end of the day... Wait, which of these? Oh, he put it on her head. He put the thing on her head, so now she can't... Don't move. Oh. One eye can control one part, but if I can take control of the head, the rest of the body follows. You lose. Drop your sword. Nameless Captain. Bakudo 61. Rikujo Koro. What? What is this? Control means nothing to me. Bankai, Senbon Sakura Kageyoshi. My entire amour. Don't bother. One eye controls one subject. The total number of eyes on your body, including the face, are yours is 50. With only 50 eyes, how can you hope to control 100 million blades filling the heavens? You said it was pointless, that I was powerless. If you want to see pointless, just try saving yourself. No. Gokei Senbon Sakura. Throat scene. It's just Oh, you did do the 1,000-year Blood War stuff for me. You did do that. You did do that. My apologies, Jeff. My apologies, man. If I recall right, I think I actually ended up watching some of these. I did recall I ended up actually watching some of these. Let me see. Here, let me close these real quick. I don't need any of this. I need the Eon drive. Let's Library of Ohara. I think you can upload to Library of Ohara. I just gotta... There we go. Let me make a folder for Bleach. And then let me... TYBW. Interview. And new folder. Videos. Do this. Hit me up on Discord later. Jeff, hit me up on Discord later. I don't know if you have access to the Library of Ohara. I will give you. We continue to the trend of Eon streaming when I'm busy. My apologies, Six. I'll give you access to the Discord if you give me your email, so that you can upload anything you want in there. But I can also just always check out the Discord, man. I have been checking out some of them. I just haven't been on the Discord a lot lately. Who has the best theme? Pain, Katakuri, Aizen, or Broly? Pain? Are you kidding me? That shit is like actually like heavenly. Like, I believe that like Pain feels more like a godlike being than someone like fucking what's his face? What's this dude's name? Aizen, who apparently like ascended to another dimension just because of like his music, bruh. Gokei Senbon Sakura Kageyoshi, 100 million Senbon Sakura Kageyoshi blades enveloping the enemy in a sphere and striking from all sides simultaneously. Be swallowed by blades and disappear. You're pretty tough. Then he walks out. Oh no, he's hurting. Blast you, blast you, blast you. You'll pay for that. Ew, it's so gross. Zomari is gross, bruh. Bakudo 81. Danku. It creates a wall that completely blocks Hado 89 and lower. I realize your techniques are similar to Kido spells when I was able to stop Rukia with my Rikujo Koro. Apparently I was right. Okay, take my amour. Take it, take it, take it. Frustration blinded you. How embarrassing for you to be called for the so-called fastest Espada. Have mercy. What's that look? Are you telling me you won't show me mercy? Are you going to cut me? Are you going to execute me? Don't you see how arrogant that is? Whose theme is better, Katakuri or Sukuna? I don't know his Katakuri's theme like that, I'm gonna be honest with you. Do you hear Gege has a new manga he'll be a writer of named Mojuro? You guys are gonna keep distracting me. Mojuro. Mojiro by Gege Akutami and Yuji Iwazaki will be getting the cover of the lead color page next week. Blue box, getting all color pages. Gege has a new manga. This will be the first chapter. Gege will be writing with art by... No! I want Gege's art style, though! Motherfuckers! Cypher Academy artist. Okay, I'm looking up Cypher. The series short. Is a short series. Series is a short series, so I don't expect to get longer than 3 volumes. That is upsetting, though. Come on, only 3 volumes? Bullshit, man. Bullshit. What is it? Cyber... What was it called? Cyber what? Dude, I have the fucking memory of a goldfish. Cypher Academy. Okay, we're going back. Cypher with an I. What the fuck is this? I'm losing. Wait. Hold on. Hold. Hold. That's not bad. Ah, wait. Wait. Okay. This isn't bad. Hold on. Hold on. Hold. Hold. It feels like a very classic anime style, at least from like the character's facial expression. That feels like very classic 90s anime to me. I don't know why. Like the big eyes, the small mouth, the way like the head almost looks like a... Not like a peach, but kind of like an avocado pit. Like, you know what I mean? Where like it looks like an upside down avocado pit. Like the head shape. With like the big eyes. Yeah. JJK's art style's better in my opinion. At least for like the shit that I see Gege Akutami write. You never heard Theme? This gotta be bull. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really remember watching a lot of Whole Cake. I actually read the manga at this point. I mostly read the manga, dude. I only watch like Gear 5 stuff, really. Yeah, it undermines the speed. I agree with that. Zomari's Resurrection, the design is in it, the character was already ugly, and... I don't get the point of like saying he's the fastest Espada, but then saying that like, yo... And even then, like, define fastest, because you could just say that like his Sonito is the fastest, but either way, like... That's only like quick burst movement. You can even probably just argue that it's that in base. Sabo is Yonko level, and Yonko scaled to planetary. More power to Gege doing what they want to do. That's what I'm saying. I don't know shit about Saint Seiya, so I can't answer that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Fine, Elon. I'm just trying to help. I need to post them for Stein as well for the future reference. I was only missing 1 QA for. No, I really do appreciate your efforts, Jeff. I'll definitely tell you this. The rest of the I think I watched about 2 or 3 of them. I remember the one that you put up with like the Sosuke Aizen stuff. I think it was like the Sosuke Aizen, or it was like the Byakuya stuff. I'll definitely have to check them out though, because I'm not gonna read the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. I'm gonna take everything that I get for the 1,000-Year Blood War is going to primarily be from the anime, so I'm gonna actually watch that, and I'll probably just watch that whole core, all the cores on Discord with you guys. I can't watch them on stream, so when it comes to like when it finally comes to me getting through like that portion of the series, those portions of the stream will actually be Discord. You guys can join me on like a Discord watch party. By what right do you slaughter us hollows? Is it because we devour humans who made you their protectors? No one gave you that authority. You Soul Reapers call us evil and slay us because you think you hold the power of justice in your hands, but you're just shing. Mind you, it's supposed to be like a Bankai for him. Ass. What makes you think I'm acting as a Soul Reaper? I'm going to slay you because you aimed your blade at my pride. Bonsai, 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 Lord Aizen, bonsai. Ew. It's over. Come out. Izane Kotetsu. Takata Unohana sent you out. She detected Hanataro Yamada's injury and ordered me to me. Leave you to it. Cool. If you get one free white now, what would you choose? Burger. 10 times out of 10 burger, man. Every single time a burger. But if I had to give you like an honest answer, I would say a quesadilla. Like, real talk, I've learned I love quesadillas, man. Like, can we get some... You guys fuck with quesadillas? Like, what's your favorite, like... easy prep, like, fast food meal? Quesadilla, nuggets, burgers, pizza, like... What do you guys fuck with? Hot dogs? Yeah, just another thing that makes me really wonder, like, what the fuck Kubo be writing. Future Yonko type shit, the Flame Emperor. Hey, what's up, Demi? How you doing, man? It's such a shame. What's such a shame? You fucking weirdo. I will say I like this previous design more than his Resurrección. Yes, best Mexican food in my opinion. Really? Yeah, I really do fuck with them. I think I fell in love with them because of Taco Bell, though. You guys fuck with Taco Bell? I think Taco Bell is honestly, like, underrated. Thank you for this comment. You know, I didn't hear anybody talk about this all day, but thank you for saying that. That really does add to the conversation, Demi. I really do appreciate that. Damn. Burgers mostly. I love burgers. They're like my favorite type of food, but I've recently realized that, like, since I can't really eat burgers anymore due to my diet, I'm like, fuck. Kind of need something else, and quesadillas are kind of up there. Dude, chicken and cheese quesadillas is peak. That's what I'm saying. A little bit, like, you can have so much variety with just the type of cheeses that you put in. All you need to do is just grill some chicken up. It's simple to make. It's easy. It's not only simple and easy to make, but there's a lot of variety, especially when you throw in some cilantro. You throw in some green onions into that bitch. Man, oh, fuck, now I'm hungry. God damn it. Taco Bell is incredible, absolutely. This Espada is the weakest. You think so? Like, I think the Espadas, they're based on, like, the amount of reishi they have, right? Isn't it something like that? Did you guys not get the notifications when he's on? I don't know if people have the notifications when I'm on. It's such a shame. In the end, even a member of the captain class was helpless against my power. The fuck is this? Pub? Pulmon. I think it's meaning pulmon. Lord Mayuri. Ha 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 ha. Look at you now, Captain Class. I guess that scary getup was just for show. You... Got you. Well, well. What? You can stand up? What's the big deal? Give it a rest. I'm tired of that trick. Get up, Nemu. Yes, sir. Blast! No! No! How? Your organs, your tendons, I smashed them all, so why don't you die? What's this power you have? Also, it's weird that, like, Bleach guys have, like, actual organs. When is the Gear 5 Diddy? I'm not making the Gear 5 Diddy video, man. I'm not... Nobody tell Eon about how many times Kubo's retconned, what ranking is based on. Has it really been retconned that many times? How many, what do you mean it's been retconned? There are equal... Okay, I don't... That you guys are having your comment. Depends. But often the author keeps flipping and flopping on the definition of the Espada's ranking system. It gets tiring. Does it really? Fuck me. I thought it was based on, like, how strong they were, but then I thought it was also based on, like, the amount of reishi that they released. I'm not subbed, so I just have to search for 5 Kage versus Kaido to find you again after it's been months. I mean, I'd appreciate a sub. I mean, you can sub. It helps me get closer to... It does help me get closer to making Luffy versus Naruto. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Zesty-ass voice. Which of the big 3 anime would you think you'd give the best food? Fucking One Piece. Have you seen some of the shit that they cook up in One Piece? Like in Naruto, like... Eon, does your notifications work? I don't usually have notifications on for, like, almost anything. Even when I'm, like, looking through, like, my, even when I'm, like, looking through comments, I have to, like, look at them manually. I don't really do notifications even on my phone. Only for, like, text messages and stuff. Definitely not for YouTube. Take it easy. I have no special power. I just got tired of seeing your trick over and over. What? I have a very curious nature. I always put a little something into anybody I fight. Like that Quincy. I infected him with a surveillance bacterium. How can this be?
What? It allowed me to watch your battle with him, and just before I left to come here, I replaced all my tendons and organs with dummies.
So Soul Reapers have organs and tendons then, right? So you're telling me that the soul in Bleach is also comprised of tendons and organs. So you're telling me that in Bleach, my soul isn't just a spiritual manifestation of my personality and who I am and all that other bullshit. It is quite literally also a manifestation of the soul of my bones, its tendons, like all of that is just replicated in Bleach, right? That's what I'm understanding from this. Bleach characters, Bleach Soul Reapers and characters. How do I join the Library of Ohara Discord server? You can become either a member of my channel on YouTube for $4, or you can become a member on Ko-Fi. I'll send you a link through either one of those. There's only like $2 on Ko-Fi, so I tell everybody to do it for like $2, and you don't have to like stay subscribed either. It's only like a one-time thing. I just can't offer anything else. All Espada are country level. What makes them all country level? Oh, what was I gonna say about food? Definitely One Piece, especially when there's an entire island, country, peninsula, archipelago, I guess, that's just comprised of buildings literally made out of food. Also, have you seen some of the shit the Giants eat? Like, that's just massive. What do you mean the Gear 5 video isn't coming? I don't have anything to make on it, man. Like, especially after especially after that motherfucker essentially didn't get charged for any of that stuff. I don't even want anything to do with Diddy, bro. When I saw like the whole case of like how most of the real fucked up charges of Diddy, like he ended up getting away with them and just ended up for like a couple of like the smaller ones. I was just like, yeah, no, the justice system is fucked. That shit is a failure. No, it hasn't been even an hour since I fought the Quincy. You couldn't have done that in so short a time. But I did. That's why I'm here. Wait. What? You're so annoying. Annoying? I only said one word. What's this about bacteria? When did you infect me? During our battle? Why didn't anybody tell me? What have you seen? You better not be spying on my private life. That's a violation. Take it out of me. First of all, what's that look? Are you listening to me? Shut up, worm. What? You're the worm. You're the... cough, cough. Stop, Uryu. Be quiet. Also, can I just say, Nemu is like top 3 Bleach designs. I prefer Nemu over fucking Yoruichi any day of the week. What do you think about Bleach, Lightspeed, and its feats at this point of the story? I still don't have an opinion. The Negacion stuff is still so weird to me. When you see this guy, things are gonna get weird. 100%. Oh, Lord Eon's about to get to a certain scene. Oh, 100%. Calx Eon. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh, Calx. Right. Yeah, that stuff. Right. You let your guard down, Captain. Your caution didn't extend to your subordinate's feet. What are we talking about feet, bro? You don't understand. I'm useless as a hostage. Shut up! I'm not talking to you! All of you, blah, blah, blah. Just shut up already. Bankai. I got you guys right now. Konjiki Ashisogi Jizo. Konjiki Ashisogi Jizo. There we go. Big transformation. What? What's that? Where did it come from? Big bebe. It's a big bebe. Oh shit. Is this 2 pages? Come on. This is gonna be a bitch to edit, man. Fuck. Imagine starving to death just for you to go to the afterlife, just for you to starve again. That's what I'm saying. And they have to eat. Soul Reapers eat. Shit, man. Dude, Nemo is so fine. I think it's because she has bangs. I think it's that. I think it's the fact that she has bangs and also, like, the choker. I don't know why she has a choker, but, yeah. A gas produced by deadly bacterium? No, I'll neutralize it. If I had more time, I could easily blast. No. Just take a screenshot, dog. I'm not doing that, man. I'm not taking a screenshot. No! Alright, what's next? Okay, so this is a full fucking page. Why can't the last one be a page? Oh, that's just creepy. Would you want to live in the Naruto Bleach One Piece verse? 10 times out of 10 the One Piece verse. 10 times out of 10 the One Piece verse. Or maybe the Naruto verse. I feel like the ceiling is a lot lower in Naruto for like the average motherfucker, right? Like I'm not wrong on this to say this, right? Like in Naruto, I could just get a pretty easy job as a ninja in a village. Every piece has been achieved. I don't have to really do anything crazy. You know. Isane, why did you two get here? Why? When did you two get here? Hanataro. Hey, don't move. I'm not finished treating you. Byakuya? Be still. Didn't you hear Assistant Captain Kotetsu's instructions? Don't move until you've been healed. Byakuya, your Haori coat. Pay no mind to it. You're hurt. I said pay no mind to it. Keep still and wait to be healed. The true battle lies ahead of us. Orihime, please hold on. Heal Nell first. Ching. Okay, I'll heal her right now. Ching, 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 ching. Alright. Anyway. Yeah, and have your feelings on Bleach changed? I mean, it's alright. It definitely feels a little bit better now to like get to the points of the story that actually feel like they're not slogging through it. I was actually surprised to find out that like the Arrancar arc, especially like the start of Hueco Mundo, doesn't feel as absolutely dreadful as it does in the anime, where it feels like it takes forever. It's a lot easier to digest now that I'm like going through it, but like there's kind of nothing for me to go off of with any of the scaling. No statements, nothing. Like the only thing I can base it off of is that like explosion looks big, and explosion looking big isn't enough for me to say like whether or not something is powerful. What's your last comment? Who's the goofiest looking antagonist in Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece? Fuck. Goofiest looking antagonist? Zomari, by the way, for Bleach. Zomari. This motherfucker for One Piece, definitely. This motherfucker, definitely. Yeah. Him, 100%. Naruto? Zetsu. I'd be fine with just saying Zetsu. One Piece verse, hello, Celestial Dragons. Yeah, but I'd be living in a chill island. I'd be living in a chill island, just trust me, bro. Trust me. I'd be living in a chill island. Also, I would 100% join the Straw Hat crew. I would be part of the Bardo Club. 100% I would be part of the Bardo Club, at the very least. If I can't join the Straw Hat Pirates, I'm becoming a part of the Bardo Club. The filler is what killed Bleach for me. Which world do you think has the worst to live in? Bleach world or the Destiny universe? The thing about, like, the Bleach world is that, like, everything that's fucked isn't actually happening in... Isn't actually, like, happening in, like, the normal human world, right? Just let the Hollow erase me, bro. Yeah, no, just let the Hollow fucking erase me. Aster, can you give me can you tell me, like, where the fuck Kubo said that? Because if that's in some kind of, like, interview or some stuff, I hope that it's probably in, the, like, the set that Chad put it in. And, that, like, Jeff put it in. But, like, if that's not the case... Like, bruh. You're telling me when I die, I have to go to Edo fucking Japan, live amongst a bunch of people that I don't fucking know, just for me to then have to work in the after... Like, there's no... The cycle of death means nothing. I'm just going from one world to another. I'm just going from one fucking shitty existence to another. What the fuck are we talking about? Have you seen The Purge in One Piece, God Valley? Yeah, but see, I wouldn't have been bored during the time of God Valley, so I'd be chilling. Like, again, crazy stuff, but I also wouldn't know about it because I'm also living inside the One Piece world. Like, if you live inside these worlds, you're also losing a lot of the information you also have in, and as long as you're living in an island that the Celestial Dragons don't give a shit about, I think that you'll be completely fine. As long as you're also living in an island that, like, pirates don't give a shit about. If Soul Reapers lacked organs, it makes sense how they survived getting such lethal injuries. Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. The Destiny universe is kind of a ruin with malicious aliens everywhere, with there being only one city that is heavily defended for humanity and a bunch of guardians. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's actually what I'm saying. I'm about to just compile all of my Bleach crash outs just to say that, like, bro, like, oh man, I might just make a massive compilation of all my Bleach crash outs. Did I download to this again twice? Fuck's wrong with me? I need you guys to, like, I'm sorry, but I kind of need you guys to, like, not distract me. Okay, so he ate it. Okay, ate it. Munch, munch, munch. Munching, munching, munching. He ate it. He ate it? No. Renji, you're infected too. What? Guess. How come you're all right? I was hit by this fog before. I probably developed antibodies against it. Forget me. We have to find the antidote. Hey, Mayuri Kurotsuchi. Plink, plink, plink.
Ugh, don't be silly. I modified the composition of the poison after every fight.
You dirty.
As for immunities, part of my genius is in preventing my enemies from developing them. Just give up. Shut up and just give us the antidote. Lord Mayuri, I'm sorry, sir, but will you lend me a hand with this? Lord Mayuri? Hey, you heard her. Give her a hand. You're so annoying here. Where there's your antidote. Here, there's your antidote. What? Don't throw it. Hey, what about her? Oh, yeah. Shit's about to get freaky, isn't it? Shit's about to get real freaky. Oh no, Nemu! She's about to give birth! Did you think you killed me? That voice, Zyalopero? Let me tell you the name of Lujuriosa's most important and brilliant technique. Gabriel. The ability to implant myself in my enemies, and entering the body through the belly button, I lay an egg inside the internal organs. It grows quickly by feeding on its host. Eventually, Lord Mayuri, causing her death. Okay, would you free from imprisonment for $1 billion? Aizen, Madara, Blackbeard, or Frieza? Blackbeard. Actually, Blackbeard. I don't care about the cons of One Piece. I want to be a fucking pirate. It's not nothing. There are differences, just not those. Eon, are there different societies, though? Like, Kubo has another manga in the Bleachers called Burn the Witch, which was in the UK. Yeah, that's what I've been wondering myself. People are always talking about, like, the Soul Society is, like, the size of a fucking universe and shit like that, but then there just so happens to be another heaven, and you're supposed to tell me, like, the entirety of heaven is supposed to be, and the entirety of heaven and mankind is supposed to be inside these, like, 100 colonies within, like, the Rukon district, and I'm just like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't know, man. Let's begin by introducing ourselves again. Mayuri Kurotsuchi. Oh, no. Hio. Nah. The Destiny Universe situation might be considered a really, really bad situation that could be worse than Warhammer 40k situation for humanity. At least there's a million planet humans to live on. The end of the interview where he said that the Ichigo gets paid from the Gote 13, but he doesn't know it. Friendly reminder that the average One Piece pirate gets finessed the moment they reach the Grand Line. Yeah, type shit. I think 6 would probably make it at least like the Grand Line. They have our organs outside of 2 new extra ones, which I posted in the Q&A. Okay, yeah. I think I know whether the ones you're talking about, the ones that like create reishi for them, right? So Reapers have organs, so internal destruction Rio affects them. That's what I'm saying. How would you even use it then? What's the point? Join the Revolutionary Army, learn Fishman Karate, become a pirate. So you're gonna join the Revolutionary Army just to betray these motherfuckers? You got problems, Six. I see the potential though. The story's freak peaked here. Don't Soul Reapers have the Saketsu and the Hakusui on top of like all their organs? Yeah, they do. No, don't go Nemu. Oh yeah. You'd really free Blackbeard versus Madara? I mean, Madara is likely just to simply try to start a way to, like, again, create Project Suki no Me. At least with Blackbeard, it's like, he's just gonna go to Pirate Island and fuck around for a bit. I just don't have to, like, ask Blackbeard for anything else, and if I do, I'd probably just ask him, like, yo, let me, join your crew, maybe? Something like that. I don't know. Blackbeard would actually be grateful and invite you to join him on Pirate Island if you freed him. He's cool like that. You know, Blackbeard is, like, a lot cooler than all these guys. Frieza is an actual genocidal maniac that would probably shoot me right after I fucking revive him. I'm not fucking with that. If I remember correctly, Kubo's original idea for that scene was for Nemu to actually give birth to him. Yeah. No, yeah, it definitely looked like it. To be fair, Reverse London isn't really big at all. Is it not? Are you willing to be CD Pet? Celestial Dragon Pet in One Piece? But this is all off of the assumption I'm not willing to be a pet for anybody. But this is all under the assumption that, like, I get taken in by them. I'd make it to the New World if I was in One Piece. Trust. I believe... I'm not gonna lie. I think that 6, the farthest 6 makes it is Grand Line unless he finds a Revolutionary Army. And Thine, I only think Thine can make it if he gets a strong enough crew. But you just became a member of Ko-Fi. I couldn't find the YouTube membership money. Oh, it's fine. If you haven't gotten a message on Ko-Fi yet, If you haven't gotten a message on Ko-Fi yet, where the fuck is my phone? Uh, I'll send it to you after the stream. I'm not planning on staying on beyond more than like 10 more minutes. I do have to like head out. As soon as possible. Getting the One Piece probably then. The Phoenix. Okay. Do you understand? By implanting myself inside the enemy, I'm able to be reborn. The Phoenix is said to be immortal. When it grows old, it throws itself into the fire and emerges renewed. Get it? That's immortality and perfection. It's not about avoiding death. It's about death becoming the pathway to continued life. Death is no longer the end. My existence is an endless cycle of death and rebirth. I am a perfect life form! Death is not the end for me. If you kill me, I will be reborn. The fact is this. You can't kill me. It's impossible for you to win. Mayuri Kotsuchi. Ching, 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 ching. Lord, Mayuri. I need this. There we go. I'm so sorry, sir. What's wrong? Are you stunned? To see your adjutants so withered? You're more sensitive than I would have guessed. Give it up. She's just so much desiccated. She's just so much desiccated meat now. Let's see. She may as well be beef jerky. Interesting. Would you join the Akatsuki? I will join the Akatsuki 10 times out of 10. The Espada all got wiped out and they didn't even do jack shit. All of the Espada got shit on. Like, the Akatsuki at least put up a fight in some cases. Like, okay, Kakuzu at least put up a fight before the Rasen Shuriken. Hidan just got straight up curb stomped. Konan got curb stomped, but at least she got rid of a Sharingan eye. I like it. What an intriguing ability. It intrigues me very much. So, is this it? What? That's not all it is. That's not all, is it? You say you're the perfect being. You have some other hidden power, don't you? Well? Why the confused look? Come now, it's not like you'll have any less of it. It's not like you'll have any less of it if you use it. Stop being stingy. Show me. Now. I'll be the new Rocks. No worries. I'll see you in the seas. That's crazy. Is there a Mongol Soul Society with Genghis Khan? That's an interesting question. I think Mongol would have been like, I think like the Mongolians would have probably become hollows or some shit. If I'm in One Piece, I will have a Logia, trust me. I'm sorry, I want to start on my own crew. These are fates worse than death. That's some Conqueror's Honky shit right there. But then again, you also have to be like a real big numbskull to kind of have Conqueror's Hockey. That is an ineffective method. Just go with regeneration and disease immunity science. No worries, I'll see you in the seas. Okay, I see you. What's with all the 6 glazing? Did bro kill 10 sea beasts or something? What's your monthly income? I'm not saying that. I'll send the thing after after I'm done with the stream, okay? The link for the Discord. Ha 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 ha. Did you really think someone could devour my main body and remain unaffected? My body invades the nervous system of whoever it consumes. I don't know how your Zanpakuto works, but once its central activation system is under my control, everything's mine. Even your Bankai will be at my mercy. Curse yourself for having a living being for a Bankai. I have the best crewmates, for real. The Bond clan in Bleach are the worst species. I'm already a former U.S. Navy combat trained 6's clone dad. Now how to navigate the seas and I already have the willpower to say I'm going to be a doctor, knowing I'll make it happen regardless. You assume you would be the main member and not one of the jobbers and not get used as cannon fodder? Well, for starters, I never said I would be a pirate. I said I'd just be chilling. I said I'd just be living my life, man. Alright, here's a sound effect for this. What? Oh no. Wait. Oh no. A weapon turning to bite its master. That would never do. I modified it to self-destruct if anyone ever tried to use it against me. It seems your bag of tricks is empty. Now to wrap things up, you will be a test subject for my new drug. Don't be defensive. The new drug is already in your system. What? His words. I implanted a number of drugs in Nemu's body, so they'd be ingested if she were eaten. What? What kind of drugs? This is what I put in the area where you implanted your egg. Don't worry, it's not lethal. Let's just say it'll make you superhuman. I already downloaded these. I'm sure you've heard of people say that when two masters fight, their swords appear to move in slow motion. Time seems to slow down for them. It's a rare phenomenon that occurs when the senses are sharpened to their highest degree. This drug induces a similar effect. It allows anybody to experience that sensation. What is this? He's talking so slowly. I can't make out what he's saying. Do you understand, Espada? With this drug, a bullet would appear to hang frozen in the air, even to the untrained eye. Now that you've become a superhuman, your normal movements may seem slow and boring. Now, does this sword appear motionless? Let me tell you the most amazing thing about this drug. The clash of swords is slow to the master's acute senses. With this drug, the effect can be amplified 1,000,000,000,000 times. One drop diluted to 250,000th of its original concentration is the optimal dosage. But I used a special undiluted solution upon you. 1 second will feel like 100 years for you. On the new Kobe in the East Blue? Fuck you. I'm not gonna be East Blue. I'm lucky too, so I'll be a great One Piece captain. I was talking about Akatsuki. Oh, they'll use me as cannon fodder? Fuck you. Fuck you, Aster. Plus, I get to put people in congregations around me naturally too. I think you could do genuine good voice acting for animation if you find it. Maybe. I could probably try to look for some work. Mayuri's Bankai is the only one that can be repaired. Yeah. Mayuri's doesn't repair, it just modified it several times. I have genuine sword training, so I'll be a swordsman. Hey, you have actual sword training? That's actually really cool. That's actually really fucking dope. I'd love to learn some kendo. Or like some actual like swordsmanship. I would love to learn some. I didn't download this page. In other words, to your superhuman senses, it will take several centuries for this sword to reach you. Isn't that amazing? But compared to your superhuman perceptions, your non-superhuman body's reactions will be hopelessly slow. In essence, your body has been left behind by your senses. You can try to stop the sword with your hand, but you won't be able to feel the blade penetrate your palm for 100 years. I can explain all this to you, but who knows when my words will reach you. Then again, there's no need to rush. Savor the feel of my blade entering your heart for an entire century while your bodily fluids turn to dust. Well then, enjoy the next 100 years. Dude, I'm kind of lightheaded from talking like that. Voice acting does make me lightheaded. That's too generous. Yen is a random op in one NPC. That's crazy. That's crazy. 6, we all know the moment you go out to sea, just like Luffy did, you would actually just be swallowed up by a sea beast. I would literally achieve the One Piece in less than a year, bruh. If he tried to use that SCP-6, it would backfire quickly and rendered useless by adaptability. Oh man, I know how to navigate too. Crazy. Okay.
I mean, you're telling me you would beat someone on the level of Kakashi? I'm not saying that I wouldn't, but what I'm saying is if I was an Akatsuki, I would naturally have the skills to be an Akatsuki. When you say Akatsuki, naturally one would assume that it's one of the main members. I would clearly be a member over someone like Hidan or fucking Konan. Hell, I'd be their fucking leader by the end of the week. It's an eternity. It's an eternity. How many years have passed? Decades. No, more than decades. An immense amount of time. When will this sword finally pierce my heart? Hurry, 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 hurry. Hurry up and kill me. Akatsuki all die. Yeah, so did most of the Espada in 1 year, bro. Thinking Akainu. I'm doing that shit in 6 months. Fuck is you talking about? I'm finding that shit, bro. I'm getting lost in finding it. I'm gonna pull a Zoro. A perfect life form. Nothing in this world is perfect. It may be cliche, but it's true. That's why the average person yearns for perfection. But is perfection really desirable? I think not. It's empty, stagnant. I abhor perfection. What a terrifying fate. Papa Kainu mentioned. Perfection is a dead end. It leaves no room for innovation or improvement, or wisdom or talent. Do you understand? For us scientists, perfection means despair. Be greater than all that comes before, but never be perfect. Scientists always struggle with that contradiction, but they must also find pleasure in it. In other words, the moment you mention perfection, you already lost to me. That is, if you really are a scientist. The perfection speech is peak. I agree. That is definitely fucking peak. I 100% the peak. Oh, wow. Is this supposed to be like Kubo saying that Mayuri Kurotsuchi is the GOAT? Hey, are you alright? Your Zanpakuto broke. It didn't break, I broke it. As long as the hilt remains intact, they can create another one. The penalty... That is the penalty for disobedience. Nemu, get over here. You're such a pain. Oh. She's healed? Mayuri, you freak. Is it... If you strong enough, Obito will probably put a curse somewhere. He probably won't. I don't think he will. I've seen worse fates in the SCP mythos. I disagree. You disagree with Mayuri? Explain. But how? How did that make it better? What? Wasn't it obvious? Fools. Obvious? That was just weird. Whatever. It's just a waste of time to explain my techniques to laymen. Nemu, dig a hole. Yes, sir. Take it easy. The poison may be gone, but your insides are all smashed. Ooh, no. Ta-da! 2/3 of the Great Desert Brothers are back for those who belong. Okay. Wait, calm down. You don't know me, but we're on the same side. We're your friends. They're in my way. Don't bother digging around them. Okay, I get it. You guys just got here. That's why you don't know who we are. Then let me explain. I know you should be dead. Don't say that. We're alive and we want to stay that way. Yeah. A door? A door in all that rubble? How did it survive them? Not surprising. When scientists construct a laboratory, we build one room that's sturdier than all the others. It's not a laboratory filled with expensive equipment or a library where we can store up all the papers we burned the midnight oil to write. What we treasure most are those things that crawl to the edge, to the very edge of the world to collect. This is the room where we stored our specimens. Whoa, behold. And they kind of never did anything with that, did they? They kind of never did anything with that, I think. Will you be Oh, definitely a warlord. Definitely a warlord. You're telling me I can just do whatever the fuck I want? And I'm strong enough, and what do you think of the 1 year Akatsuki statement? What do you mean? What do you mean the 1 year Akatsuki statement? You make Mayuri sound like he's gooning to science. I don't make it sound like that. To be honest, the 1 year Akainu was overhyped because they're assuming that it fully realized the Akainu. The Straw Hats have been together for way less than a year and had setbacks because they weren't strong enough.
Why is Nemu even with the clown? What do you think? Did you ever get a take on whether or not characters other than the series can withstand spiritual pressure? I don't think I ever got a statement like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. They do? Wait, they do something with the fucking bodies? That's bullshit. Alright. Alright. Stop. What am I doing? Let go of me. What are you doing? What am I doing? What do you think? I'm going to modify you. Fuck, I did it again. Let go of me, shut up, don't be such a baby. Think about it. I'm offering to heal your wounds free of charge. However you turn out, shouldn't you at least thank me? No. Wait, are you going to change the way I look too? Please hold still. Wow, you're too close, What is, that's good, Nemu. Keep suffocating him like that. It's alright if he dies. Captain Kurotsuchi, what is it? Please heal me first. Why? I want to return to battle. The others have encountered his spotters as well. If I don't get to them in time, he doesn't need your help. What? The only one still fighting is Araki. He's headed for Ichigo Kurosaki. The ruffian doesn't need your help. Besides, you should know better. When he's on the battlefield, he's like a wolf with the scent of blood in its nostrils. You get in his way, he'll eat you too. To be devoured by a beast is a foolish way to die, don't you think? Knocks him away. Did the thing. Swings it down. Okay, this just helps him get through this way faster. Grabs it, pulls him in, grabs him by the face, slams him down, tries to stab him in the head. You dodged it. And if you dodged it, you must be afraid of it. Am I wrong? You said the sword of a mere soul reaper couldn't cut your skin, but I think you must have a vulnerable spot. Ha 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 ha! In your dreams. In your dreams. Then it was Hema, which focused on the European fighting style, but the classes I focused on with Italian stances like Posta Longa. Oh, okay, so long reach. She's a planetary statement. Yeah. How is VV multi-continental? If you could pick lame devil fruits, which one would you pick for your powers? A lame devil fruit? That's interesting. Probably Buggy's devil fruit, honestly. I kind of like it. I could just, like, float. Are you just downloading every page? At this point, kind of. It's all, because, like, there's really no statements here that I... Why the fuck did I download all the Mayuri stuff? I didn't need any of that. Fuck it, I'm just gonna take all of it. Why not? Now that I think about it, why the fuck did I download all the Mayuri stuff? I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I've just been on autopilot. I really have just been on autopilot. Back from rehearsal, y'all. What's been going on? What's up, Lapis? I'm actually not gonna be on for too much longer. I'm just gonna finish up, like, these 10 chapters and I'm gonna head out. There are people like you in the Soul Society. Some of them also said that I wouldn't be able to cut them, but you see, I've never met anybody whose eyeball and throat couldn't stand up to steel. Damn. That's pretty raw. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, as he was holding him down, he just started sliding? That'd be pretty funny. How many times do I have to tell you? How many times do I have to tell you? You can't cut me. Ooh, he stabbed. You got stabbed. Kenpachi. You still don't understand, do you? Nobody can survive a sword through the head. That's what you're thinking. Well, you're right. Wait. Oh, wait. No, he does have hair in the back of him. I was about to say, how the fuck is it black in the background if he has hair? Yeah, hair. How would you know which page is important if you get every page? I would just look for it. I don't think anything here is necessarily important. Also, they're fighting. Hey, friend inside me. Thank you so much for the $2, Lapis. Can we get some W Lapises? Guys, please don't try to donate too much. I'm not really doing much. If you had to eat a Zoan, what animal would you want it to be? I would probably pick a mantis shrimp. Yo, Aster, that is such a power scaling shit to fucking say. That is such like a meta shit to call out. Because the mantis shrimps... No, because real talk, mantis shrimps have some of like the craziest fucking punch... Has basically the craziest punch in the entire
in the entire animal kingdom. Don't they have like the force to like literally crack bulletproof glass or some shit? Their punches are what, like so fast they actually like ignite the water for like a second and create bubbles. Like, yeah, no, that is such a power scaling thing to say, man. If I had to choose like an animal, I'd probably choose like a bird or some shit. I'd probably choose like some kind of a bird. Yeah. I know it because I've actually I've read up some stuff on some animals. I do like reading up stuff on animals at times. But I don't know. I think like an animal that I could get a lot out of. Probably like a roadrunner. I think a roadrunner fruit would actually be pretty funny. Like a roadrunner or like if it's not mythical, right? Not mythical, just a regular animal. Honestly, I'd probably do like a liger. I know that like ligers are like nature's abominations, but I do like ligers. I do like the concept of a liger. I think they'd be funny. A kangaroo Zoan would be kind of dope. Actual menace with hockey. Yeah, you'd have some crazy jumping power. I think I heard of somewhere that your punches are like super small bombs. That's not the reason I would pick it, but it's a complex eye animal. Oh, it also has a very complex eye. That is also very true. Yeah, no, they have like 360-degree vision, right? They can like just see everything. That's pretty true. You know, okay, Aster, I will give you. Okay, it's not entirely. I can see it. I can see it. But your transformation would also like look very weak, wouldn't it? Not weak. It would look like very weird, right? Like, wouldn't your arms have to like bend backwards or something? Yeah, like your arms would have to like bend backwards or something, right? Brown pads, it makes sense. Dunhema, Florentine, the bodyguard. My default is Dente de Zengario for two-hand swords. Ooh. Dente de... Ooh. Ah, it's a style of long sword training. That's cool. I'd love to learn some sword combat. I'd love to learn how to like properly wield a sword, an actual like like swordsmanship. I think it'd be really cool. I would like to like learn as many sword styles as possible. Like swords are they're like it might seem boring, but like swords are generally one of my favorite weapons. I just think that like just do so much. But I also like axes. I like axes and like halberds. Halberds are cool as fuck, dude. There's a character that I've been one of the characters for like one of my story, one of my story, one of the other like protagonists. I had her like essentially multi-wield weapons. Essentially like a staff that creates like energy weapons that like, so like it could be like a halberd, a regular staff. It could be a polearm, an axe. Like the size and shape of the weapon changes as she wants it. I think shit like that's really cool, man. I take it Dragonfly Zoan, fast flying, great vision, insane accuracy. Ooh, actually, yo, give me a Peregrine Falcon. Give me a Peregrine Falcon, bruh. Give me a Peregrine Falcon, bro. Crazy. I could just like dive in and have some of the craziest fucking vision in the entire animal kingdom. Yeah, it's basically like the fastest animal, right? Gotta do an ant zone and get food at chucking stuff. Just imagine how scary that'd be. Your last comment, I'm sorry. Would you rather have your sister Robin, Orihime, Hinata, Leone, Akame ga Kill, or Chi-Chi? Fuck no to the Chi-Chi. Leone's cool people. I remember her. She's pretty chill. Hinata seems like a sweet younger sister. She kind of already gives me that kind of vibe with like Neji. I'd be lying if I didn't say I'd want to smash adult Orihime and Robin, so probably not those two. So I'd probably say like Leone. Leone is pretty cool. Rip. Okay, let's get this. Nobody can survive with story. Okay, yeah. It just passed through it. Understand you've met your match, Soul Reaper. What? Why are you laughing? Sorry, bud. I'm just so happy I can't help but laugh. You're happy? Yeah. Where's the fun in cutting you on top of everything? You won't die. At least I know you'll die if I cut you. That's all I need. I'm going to enjoy cutting you. Yeah, Kenpachi's really about that life, isn't he? If you want to be creepy, you could do one vampire Finch. I guess a bat would also be kind of interesting. I want something that can fly, though. That's kind of like really my only big caveat. Like, I want something that can fly. I think just the ability to like take to the skies is like really interesting, and it also like makes things a lot easier for me.
Eon, search up a Wolverine frog. Now that's a Zoan fruit idea. Actually, a Wolverine, bro. Give me a fucking honey badger. No. You want to see some crazy shit? Give me a fucking a honey badger. What the fuck is this? Extendable bone claw? Oh, the fuck? These things are weird. All right. Wait, no, I don't care about that. Okay. Okay. Okay, actually breaks its own bones to extend jagged bony claws when threatened. They somewhat aggressive and definitely badass. Don't try to... Here, I got you guys right now. As a matter of fact, I got you guys right now with the craziest fucking, a peregrine. Not peregrine. Okay, peregrine falcon. My apologies. I got you guys right now with a really crazy one. Give me the Tasmanian devil fucking devil fruit, bro. I want the Tasmanian devil fruit, bro. These angry little fuckers. Yo, just let me spin, bro. No. Just let me spin around like a fucking menace to society as I go blah 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 blah. I want to do some shit like that, bro. I would absolutely, and you know what? I would make the sound effects. I would make the fucking sound effects just because I could. Who the fuck's gonna stop me? I'm basically an unstoppable force of nature if I get the Tasmanian devil fruit, bro. There's also a spearing mantis shrimp that essentially have harpoon as hands. Really. Also in context of One Piece, you should at least be able to breathe underwater. But yeah, flying might be the superior option. Yeah, getting the can constantly get more powerful of a Zoan with a Wolverine frog. Imagine the Awakening. Yeah, the Awakening would go crazy. Honey Badger would go crazy. I'm saying, bro, those creatures are genuinely insane in the amount of damage they can withstand. That's what I'm saying. You can't poison me. You can't Asian giant hornet fruit. Lapis is out here fucking thinking about some crazy shit, man. What is it? Asian giant hornet. That sounds like a lot of fun. That actually sounds like a lot of fun, but you would look absolutely scary as all fucking hell, man. I'm not gonna lie, a mantis shrimp because I could one-shot anyone. Nah, man, you can't one-shot me. I'd be a fucking Wolverine, bro. A honey badger. There's no way I'm getting taken down. There's a channel called Tier Zoo where they basically do animal power scaling if you're interested. I've seen the videos. I've seen some of their videos. I like that channel. I'm not sub to it, but I do like the channel. Your last comment, sorry. What if Oda got the rights to do Godzilla and made a Godzilla fruit? I'm just saying that would probably be one of like the most. That would definitely be like a mythical devil fruit or like a prehistoric devil fruit. It'd be some crazy shit. No, I'd actually scroll. Like, give me the Hito no Mi model god. Fuck you. Fuck you. Now actually this. I said no mythicals. Cause like with a mythical, it's like you could just say like any random fucking like crazy ass animal and shit like that, right? Like nah, he said model god. That's crazy. I'm crying. I'm crying. Oh, this is how I know that like Kenpachi's on some bullshit. Cause this Kenpachi is stronger with his eye patch on than the one that Ichigo is fighting. Absolutely bullshit, man. Also, Noitora Zoan cow killer fruit. I know what the calculator is. I'm not going to look that one up. Fuck no, man. Alright, one more chapter, 2 more chapters to go. You rat. I couldn't control my strength because you cut off my eye patch. Just what is your eye patch? It's a seal. It's used to contain my spirit pressure, so my battles last longer. You're still standing? You're alive? Or are you just on your last breath? You fool, as if that would kill me. Your blade can't kill me. I'm never going to die. Pray, Santa Teresa! Sacred screaming praying mantis. Oh, no. Honestly, not my favorite resurrection. Not my favorite resurrection. It's just 4 big scythes. I'm gonna be a radiation Logia, maybe a phoenix fruit. Alright, now we're doing mythicals. Alright. Now we're doing mythicals. Alright. You know what I was thinking? Armadillo. I was thinking about armadillo before I said anything. Give me the model Jesus fruit, the model Jesus. Eon would be the obese giraffe. Yo, let me tell you guys something. When I was in high school, This fucking image right here had me crying. The fat giraffe, man. This image right here had me crying. I don't know what it was about this fucking image, but I was in actual tears. I got actually kicked out of my class for that. The cuttlefish are pretty insane in terms of combat ability. Cuttlefish? Oh. Yeah. You know what? You know what Devil Fruit 6 would eat? You know what Devil Fruit 6 would eat? This would 100% be 6's Devil Fruit. The rat fruit is crazy. Give me the model Goku. You know what? Give me the Hito no Mi. No, sorry. The monkey fruit model Son Goku. No. Wukong. Model Wukong. The big Chungus looking motherfucker, yeah. Type shit. What about the dung beetle fruit? Can lift over a 1,000 times its weight. What about the Hercules beetle fruit? How about that? How about the Hercules or the rhinoceros beetle fruit? No, it's the Sabo fruit. That's crazy. I'd be as strong as clown. That's crazy. You probably want to check the Yamani, Ryu, and Chiang training for staff and spear ideas, by the way, if you're interested. Ooh, Yamani, Ryu. Yamani, Ryu, Kokubo. Ooh, okay. Polearm training. Okay. Well, staff training. Ooh. And you said the Chung. It's Chung, right? Chung weapon. Yes. Chinese spears. Only 850 times for Hercules beetles? Oh, that sucks. His wound healed up too. No way. And Kenpachi inflicted that wound without his eye patch on. Kenpachi. Well, what's you like to see a spotter release form for the first time? Say something, Soul Reaper. It's nice. It's been a while. Your spiritual pressure is sharpening my sword. That's what it feels like. Oh, then cut me with that sharpened sword of yours. He rushes in. Clash. What? Is that all you've got? Shing! What was that pretty feeble swing, Soul Reaper? Yeah. Oh, hell no. About to go become Kid Goku with the pole stick. I got you, Red, Dark. Give me a model bookworm. I have all the knowledge and can create anything from a book. Right. Now this. Now we're... the worm fruit model bookworm. I could get behind it. I could get behind it. As long as you have like a... But I feel like it would have to be like, depending on the book that you have. Probably be some like crazy ass devil fruit too. It'd probably be like some whatchamacallit, some man, what's it called? It'd have to be like devil fruit like relies entirely on like what books you have. Probably like bring things back to life, like Bohemian Rhapsody. What if there was a dragon fruit that gave you a Western dragon instead of an Eastern dragon? I think that'd be pretty sick. I think that'd also be pretty sick. Yeah. Radiation is sick as hell. Sick as hell concept, yeah. But it'd also be like really bad to use. The Zoro fruit would go crazy. I'm crying. What about a launch fruit? Extremely dangerous, good stuff at throwing. I think there's already kind of something like that. No, there isn't. Just launching things. Maybe like your arms become like cannons. He's not even twitching. Are you finished yet? Fine. I guess I'll mop up the rest of you now. Orihime, wait. What is this? It knocked me back. Is Orihime Shunko Rika Shunshin Rika that powerful? Santen Keshu 3 God style thing. What is this? You should look behind you. He lost an arm. Oh no. That's one. Okay. You. What if there was a radiation fruit that was also makes you a radiation lock to launch the idea? Radiation isn't... Yeah, no, I don't think it's an element, right? It's just a byproduct of... what is radiation, actually? Vanderdecken has something like that. Yeah, no, I agree with that. You be careful. Kenny gets mad when people attack me. I'm not mad. You play dead? Cheater, shut up. I was just thinking. Hey, Redeemer of Dark, thank you so much. It was just pointed out that you can probably make a devil fruit if you cult over hundreds of years, according to Vegapunk's theory. Probably. I'll just make a cult for Zoro, and then eventually people's dreams and wishes will be like, I want to be like Roadrunner with Zoro, and you get a sword and you get like a devil fruit that gives you like 3 blades and no sense of direction. Absolutely insane. Guys, can we get some W Redeemers, please?
Shut up. I was just thinking, one of those forearms of yours is bound to block my attack. That wouldn't have been any fun, so I tried to think of a way to prevent that, but I couldn't come up with anything clever, so I decided to cut your arms off one by one instead. Oh, I'm missing this one too. But he can't fight if you cut off all of his arms, Kenny. Good point. I take it back. I'll leave you with one. Leave me with one? Are you insane? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But don't worry, that was the last arm you take from me. Or to be exact, that was the last thing you'll ever take from anybody. I'm going to slice you to death with these 4 arms because you're weaker than me, Soul Reaper. I think he should have lost to a female captain. The more I think about it, Noritora should have 100% have lost to a female captain. Really just make this misogynistic ass, sexist ass motherfucker just lose it. I really want to see him crash out. Guinea pig fruit model. I broke out of an enclosure and bred 100 female guinea pigs. Yeah, but don't guinea pigs, or is it like a hamster? Which is it like? Will they die out of like just a minor heart attack? Like if you like even remotely sprung them? You could make a mythical model flame emperor fruit, just like how Nika likely became an emperor. That makes Vivi multi. Okay, I don't know what that means, but that'd be pretty funny. I know for a fact 6 would be like the only person necessary to make that fruit come true. I want to like these fights, but something about them feels off. It's because there's a constant it's just like a constant flex off between like one opponent towards the other. Instead of them actually trying to have a fight, it's just which of them can like sort of flex on the other better. And it's just like, I don't know. What did he say, Eon? Oh, he just said something along the lines of like, the idea of like a woman being stronger than me or like a woman being on the battlefield pisses me off. It was something along those lines. You're too light. I can knock you around like a feather, but what makes it harder for me to finish you off? Or are you just running away because you're scared? Pushes out. Grab. Slam. Salamo. Quincy's are just humans with spiritual power, and the hollows, of course, are monsters. Father of 400 moment. Yeah, it's just an Aura Farm face-off. It's what really, like, Bleach fights come down to. Swing. What? Finished already? Fool, I told you. You're not cutting off any more of my arms. Slice you to death with my 6 arms. Okay, that should be the last one. Aura Farm, Kangen wins. 100%, I agree with that. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, everyone in the chat, I'll be heading out. I do have to eat some lunch. I am kind of hungry. I had a good time here. I had a very good time with you guys. This has been fun. I hope each and every one of you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for the last few hours. Oh, no wonder the stream might have been slow. It's because I've been... Yeah, okay. Thank you guys for the ideas, too. Next time I stream, it'll probably be on Saturday. I'm not going to stream tomorrow. The 3-day streak does end. But I did want to say... I'll start to like actually work on the video based on the actual research that we've summed up. I'm gonna be going in online to like find any other stuff. I think your will would align perfectly with a box scrap since you and that crab kidnap kids. What the fuck? What the fuck does that even mean? But also it's kind of point out good aim, just insane power bonus, the Blackbeard and mix with it, and ant fruit. Imagine throwing an anvil at someone Mach 5. Yeah, fair. But yeah, I'll probably stream Saturday. I'm not making any promises, and I'll probably just leave that as a day for like for me to like chill. But I will try to see what you guys think about like the scaling that I've got so far for like Naruto and B versus like the these dudes, the guys, the things, the stuff. But anyway, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. And if I don't start streaming this weekend, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you for the $7. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.